Hey everyone. Happy Wednesday. Good morning. Good morning. Hope everyone has had a great start to your week. We are halfway through. 2 more days until Halloween and Friday. Always a good time. How's everybody doing today? Thank you for coming with the last minute setup. Let's try this feature out. Oh, look at that. We can now put the chat on the screen and change the way it looks. Pretty cool. I noticed StreamYard is doing a lot to update their services, which they should because they sure updated their price. Good morning. It's good to see all of you. I feel like I've missed out, as always, on so much. Proud Mimi with 11 months. You are the best. Wow, thank you. It was definitely baited. It was an emotional pull on a lot of heartstrings, and it was totally unfair to the audience. Yay, you made it. Good morning. Oh, I I apologize that I haven't really been live or around much, and I appreciate all of you who have reached out to just check in and ask me how I'm doing. It means a lot to me. Hey, Jamie. All right, let's get the chat rolling on in here, and I want to show I hey, True Love. I want to show everybody there is this tactic that creators use, that people use, that producers use, and the more I sit back and watch, a lot of people are talking about Lauren, they're talking about Grayson, they're talking about Christine, but what they're not talking about is the impact it has had on hundreds of people who sat through an emotionally driven video and relived their own experiences. How many of you have come in here and said, I've experienced stalking, I've received restraining orders against people, I've experienced harassment, and the real world, real meaning of these terms. And that is one of the things that people like Lauren tend to prey upon is others' experiences. And yeah, I think that's what we will dive into today. Good morning, everybody coming in. Hello, hello. I do have another small update that we will get into. Well, it's actually not small, it's pretty big. It is pretty big, and we'll touch a little bit on that. So come on in, get your cup of Nancy, sit back, relax, and join the chat. A mockery of real stalking incidents. I agree. Oh, full of heart. I'm so sorry for your loss. That's horrible. That is one reason I did not want another pet because that heartache is, man, I'm so sorry you're going through it. Good morning, everybody. Migsy, 3 years, closing in on 3 years. Do you know that every Halloween I bust out the Michael Myers earrings that you bought me? I mean, made me. I'm sorry. Made me. 3 years. That is wild. Thank you so much. The ups and downs. I still can't believe that CJ passed away. And I know many of you do not or are not aware of who CJ is. Um, Let me just say, I was really, really disheartened to see somebody asking about CJ in a particular chat that didn't even take a moment to get past their own self pity to acknowledge the loss of somebody who was a big part of all of us at one point. But that's right on par for that person, right? I am dropping the link in the chat. She is going to be so missed. I still can't wrap my head around it. Italy coming in with the thumbs up. All right, let's get a few more people in here. I'm going to give you guys an update on where we stand with the um, declaratory judgment. We got an update. One red rose. Holy crap. I'm not on that screen. Hold on. I'm coming. 39 months. Wow. You guys are seriously the best. Thank you so much. Yes, case updates are always awesome. Yep. That's right, Sing. Get your ear to the mic. Wait, is that what they say? Get your ear to I don't know if that would make sense. Ear to the mic does not make sense, actually. I don't know why I said that. I have to be honest with you guys. If you can't tell, I am totally faking the funk right now. I have been down and out, seasonal depression, everyday stress. It is kicking my butt. I am literally, I'm faking it. I'm forcing myself. I'm going to try really hard to get through this. But truth be told, I'm not in the mind space. I'm not in the right head place for this. But I'm trying. Angel Chips. Hey, adore you, Jess. Thank you, Angel Chips. I just saw a question. If I give on Venmo, is it private? Yes, my transactions are private on Venmo. You can make your transactions private on Venmo if you want to Venmo to somebody and ensure that it'll be private. Hellfire with the 5 gifted. Thank you so much. Thank you for growing our little community over here. I am trying to fake it till I make it, girl. I'm trying. It's not sometimes a hard thing to do. Phoebe, good morning. Thank you, Angel. What happened to CJ? CJ went to sleep one night and did not wake up. She reportedly was having difficulties. The ambulance did come and they wanted to take her to the hospital. And CJ said, I'll wait to see how I'm feeling in the morning. And unfortunately, when the morning came, CJ was no longer with us. Her daughter gave a update on her social media, and my heart goes out to them. Thank you, Sneaky. Thank you so much. Set a goal. I'm sorry you're in a funk. I don't think a goal would help my funk, but I do appreciate that. Thank you, What the Croc. Oh, Laurie, I'm so glad you were here as well. Thank you so much. Oh, LaRue, I really appreciate that. I'm if one of my moderators can. If not, I can dig it out. That would be Hellfire, Heather. Gifting the memberships. Femo doesn't show your name and phone. No. Oh, for a facial, James. A blueberry facial. We had a whole the whole discussion on people getting facials for their dogs. It's an interesting concept. I was thinking the same thing, Sin. I didn't want to say it. Don't be naughty. Sarah, welcome. Welcome. Thank you for becoming a member. Again, much appreciated. All right. So as far as the declaratory judgment goes, she did not respond in time. So, as expected, that is where that is at. When somebody doesn't respond in time to the deadline set by the courts, you then send them a notice to respond for a default judgment. That gives them 10 days to respond to your. They now can't answer because they threw that away. But basically, it gives 10 days, not $10, 10 days for them to respond. And if not, plead to the courts on why a default judgment is warranted because of non-response. So 4 quarters is still $2, G-dubs. You know what? I'll tell you what 4 quarters is. It's not even 50 cents anymore. That's how it feels. But, hey, True Texas Girl, I'm glad you did as well. And thank you so much, Straight Talker. Yeah, imagine that. Right. I agree, Johanna, especially when she said that the 1,500 that Brenda gave her would be going to PA to respond, and yet no response. I agree. It is gross when people abuse the court systems, okay? And that is exactly what we are witnessing with many, and especially with Lauren. So Lauren doing what Lauren did brought a huge spotlight to people like Lauren who abuse our court systems to silence critics. And it's gross. It's gross. It should be illegal, but it's not. Unfortunately, it's not. But there are options for people that find themselves on the receiving end of baseless claims. You can do malicious prosecution. You can countersue. Regardless of what route you take, the fact of the matter is you have to take a route that requires income. It requires money, and we all know not many people have thousands of dollars laying around to afford to defend themselves against baseless claims. I guess some would say that's taking food out of kids' mouths, right? Sound like a familiar sentence. Good morning, Choo Choo. Little Boston. She is, Pika. She is. Hey, Ellie. Lauren is doing the same damn thing. She's just more polished than BJ, but they are on the same when it comes to using courts to silence critics. Oh, it's good to know. Throw glitter on it. Thank you. What happens here is if this gets thrown back, if the quote unquote RICO gets thrown back to the lower courts, um, the judge then grants, because she already granted attorney fees. She hears our claims for punitive damages since they were not disputed in time. We get to present our reasoning for it. And once that is done, you then have to go through the whole jumping of hoops to get copies of their income. They then go through the discovery stage of tax returns, those whole things. I think, as far as I'm aware, I'm not too aware because I'm not an attorney, but I believe that is the way that goes. So dog's income, the 9 other plaintiffs, it will all be part of what takes place to try to get our attorney fees back and possibly punitive damages. I did, and I wish he won it. I wish he won it. Okay, so let's go ahead and oh gee golly. Oh my goodness, thank you. I did get your Venmo. Thank you so much. Italy, it is ongoing. It's only a matter of time. She comes after you, Granny. Possibly, Dharma. There's always that possibility. So I came across a video that I wanted to play you all because it describes perfectly what has happened since Lauren put out this call to action to call out what she deems to be harassment and stalking and all the other things and mean girl like behaviors and bullying and you name it. Since then, many people have come forward with their own experiences with Lauren, with their own experiences with people like Lauren, their own experiences of harassment and bullying. She called out a few skeletons from her closet. Sure did. Granny can talk crap with the best, but randomly hiss with the G golly. uh, Good morning, X amount. So it's the Streisand effect, right? Lauren wanted to get ahead of the courtroom being streamed because what we have heard come from the courtroom showed just how well it was going in Lauren's favor. Shocker there, I don't think. Thank you, sis. All she's calling out is her own delusion. Well, and part of me wonders if it is delusion or if it's a bit of privilege going on, right? As I'm sure some of you have seen, I don't know why it uploaded in the middle of the night, but it did. Is that the man that was missing for years? and they found him along. I just read about that this morning. Is that the one? But I didn't see them thank Stephen Fisher or Crabtree, but I did see. Oh, really? Well, I don't know. I don't know how they're along the Schuylkill. It was supposedly the man's name was Jesse Lee Farber, and he has been reported missing since 2015. And apparently, he was found by ATV riders. I don't know. Good morning, Rainbow. Jeremy and George have been through it. It's one of the few cases that are actually being stalked. This gentleman was found deceased. Hey, Bayou. Hey, Tammy. That's interesting that they received the thanks. The cameras in the court was just a BS excuse. Yeah, and I didn't listen to the entire 9 hours, so I didn't realize that until I read comments. And correct me if I'm wrong, because again, I didn't listen. Did Lauren claim that this event, and again, speculation, did she claim that this event led her child to having a like an eating disorder? Yeah, Tally Gal. So am I, definitely. It's always nice when you get that joy back. I've I'm experiencing that joy being snatched from you, and it's a horrible feeling when when you used to be so passionate about something and you enjoyed it and you look forward to it, and then you just couldn't get yourself to even. I'm there. I know exactly how that feels. I'm literally there. I actually bought land across the street and it's pulled. Yeah, I heard a little bit about what the whales. I was flooded with comments about them when the RICO first began. Awen, if you'd like to come up, and apologize if I'm not pronouncing your name correctly, I did drop the link in the chat. You are more than welcome, and I'd love to speak with you and get to know you a little bit and get to know more of what happened to lead you to the place that you found yourself. I don't know why these idiots bring kids in this crap, because it's an emotional string. It is a tearjerker, right? A lot of what Lauren did was based solely around that. It was based around grabbing the emotions of the chatters. For example, let's start with, stalker over 500 times. It's meant to bring out the experience of the chat of those listening, to play on your heartstrings, to make you feel how they claim to feel. Good morning.
Good morning. I forget how to use StreamYard. Give me a second.
It's one of those things.
Oh god, it's been so long.
I
Oh
know.
my goodness. All right, I got my picture up. Hey, look at that.
It's a lovely picture. I
Oh,
actually
thank
just
you.
I just had my hair cut about a week ago, and I wanted my hair was really long. It was below my chest, you know. And I said to the lady, "Can you make it like right below my collar, like right on the tip of my breast?" She cut my hair as short as yours, and let me tell you, but I at first I was so upset. I'm like, "How dare you?" You know, like in my head, of course, to her, I'm like, "Oh, it looks great," because I never speak up. But anyway, it is liberating. I love it now.
Nice. I usually
Yeah.
tend to keep mine this short because I have a very I'm a Leo and I have a Leo's mane, and if I get it long, it is everywhere.
Oh,
So,
see,
yeah.
my hair's very thin, so.
So,
So
hi, it's nice to meet you.
you as well. Am am I pronouncing your name correctly? Awen?
I go by Awen to anglicize it. It's Awen, but
Owen,
most
okay.
that's a Welsh thing, and most people don't know how to say that. So we just say Awen. It,
There you
it sounds
go.
good.
So long as it works, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So I came across, and I'm sure you were quite shocked how many came across your video. Were you surprised by that?
I was on the phone with. All right, it's a weird story. One of my subs from 5 years ago messaged me last week when this all broke.
Mhm.
I said, "You see what's going on?" I'm like, "What? What's going on?" I'm not paying no attention to this stuff. He says, "Watch this video." I'm like, "You want me to watch a 9-hour video of Lauren Matthias? Dude, I thought you were my friend, you know?" So I'm like, he's like, "No, watch it." I'm like, "All right, fine." So I watch it, and I'm the whole time I'm watching it, I'm screaming into the void. Like, I cannot believe this. What is going on?
Mhm.
Um, and so, I started watching. I said, I'm just going to sit back and watch this unfold. I'm not jumping into this mess. Of course, here I am now because I can't help myself.
It's that Leo in you.
Yep. So I finally did that video. It took me a week to kind of get up the guts and the balls to do that. So I
Mhm.
put it up and I'm like, all right, here we go. And I was on the phone with him and we're watching the video and he's like, "Oh, 100 views." I was like, "It's been like 30 seconds. What are you talking about?" And
Uh-huh.
then the first hour was 1,000, the second hour was 3,000, 8,000, 10,000 views, and I'm like, "Oh my god, what have I done? Oh no." And he says, "Read the comments." It's like, I can't look at the comments. That's what flipped me out years ago. I'm not looking at the comments. He's like, "Look at the comments." I'm like, "Okay." And they were all, "Oh my god, Awen, I've missed you so much." I'm like, "What?"
Mm.
"Where have you been? Oh, I love your voice. Oh, I have missed you so much." And hundreds and hundreds. They were coming faster than I could read them. And the first night, there was not a single negative comment.
Yeah.
And it was mostly people saying, "I can't believe you're back. Please tell me you're back." And I was on the phone with my friend Joe, and I was just bawling like a baby. It broke my heart in the best possible way. And I still don't have the right words to explain to the people that left those comments what that meant to me. To have hidden from something so hard for 4 or 5 years
Yeah.
and come back to that kind of a welcome. Oh my lord. It was like, "Lauren Matthias, you just gave me the greatest gift of my life."
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know? So
Now
yeah.
now what made you leave, 4 or 5 years ago? What was the experience? Because I know what you mean when you say, "I just can't even look at comments. I can't even look at my email." So
Yep.
I know what you mean by that, and unless you've experienced what I believe you and I have experienced, you don't quite get it.
I don't think anybody gets it unless you're in an internet situation because real
Mhm.
life, that doesn't happen, you know?
That's
So
true.
all those years ago, Lauren Matthias and her friend at the time, who I don't want to say her name yet because that's a whole nother world of stuff that's going to come out at some point.
Mm.
That's another big problem. But they got very angry with me because we were all working on this Vallow Daybell case together. We all knew each other. Um, but I had a different track to get information from the case. I was talking with Lori Vallow's attorney, Mark Means. I was not working for him. Let's get that right off the bat. Uh, but I was talking to him. And the reason I was talking to him was because of all of the other players in the case. Not Lori Vallow. We knew what her story was. But what about all her friends? There was a whole cult group around her.
Mm.
And that was my focus, this cult group, the people that enabled this to happen. And some of them were there in the home at the time. Like, whoa, this is a big deal. But that wasn't really being investigated as far as publicly.
Right.
Right. And I took a big issue with that. I'm like, we got to look at all these people. And Mark Means was like, what? He was focused on his client. And I said, dude, look at all of this other stuff. And he was like, send me what you got on that. I'm like, all right. Because I had databases put together and spreadsheets. And, I'm one of those crazy people. So I had
I know, one of
everything.
that's one of those people I inspire to be.
Right, right. So I sent him everything. I also sent it to the state. Don't come at me for thinking I didn't send it to the investigators as well. I sent it everywhere. It was publicly available, right?
Mm.
It wasn't hidden. Anybody could access it. So I sent all this stuff out. Um, and so we started, Mark and I started just talking back and forth about the information that I was able to collate from the internet. Facebook posts, all that kind of stuff. And here's all the information we can find on all of these people. So that's what I was doing with Mark Means. Nothing to do with Lori Vallow, because he knew what I thought about his client, right? So that was not
Right.
something we talked about a lot. So I was doing that. And at one point, what really kicked it off was the court had released Lori's mental health evaluation report
Mm.
by accident. That's not supposed to be public. That's a HIPAA
No.
thing. That almost never comes public unless it's brought up in trial, which it wasn't going to be. But the court released it. But I was one of those people who was refreshing the court website every 10 seconds, every day, to get as soon as a court document was up, it was in my hands and on my YouTube channel. So I grabbed this and I'm reading it and I'm like, um, what is this? Right? And I didn't know what to do. So I asked my friend Justin Lum, because he was also covering the case and he was a real reporter. And he's like, yeah, I got it too. I'm like, can we publish this? He's like, I'm gonna ask legal. I was like, okay, you go ask your legal department. I'm gonna go ask mine. I called Mark Means, right? Like, I said, can I publish this? And he was like, where did you get that? I'm like, what do you mean? It's on the court website. And he started having an absolute heart attack. Why is it on the court website? And then by the time we went back to look, it was already gone. They had taken it down within like 2 minutes. They had taken it back off the court website. That was a mistake by the clerk. And
Yeah.
I was told, you are not allowed to publish that. That is not public information. They shouldn't have put that up, blah, 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 blah. And so I didn't publish it, obviously. But at the time, Lauren's friend, that shall remain nameless for now, was giving me, she was also a lawyer, and she was giving me legal counsel, and just like, not counsel, but more like, hey, can I do this? Nope, that's not a good idea. Okay. So I would run things past her to make
Right.
sure I stayed safe legally in my coverage of this case. And I brought this, I'm like, she was one of the people I sent out right away. Can I publish it? And she was like, oh, nah, not a good idea. Right. But obviously, the information got relayed to her. That's not a problem. If I read something, I'm allowed to talk about it, just maybe
Right.
not publicly. So we both agreed, okay, I'm not going to say anything about it. And instead, I did a video to explain to people what uh, a competency eval is, and the difference between mentally incompetent and insanity defenses.
Clever.
And right, there's a whole big difference there. So I just did an explanatory video, not saying this is Lori's situation, but saying, in case this comes up, you might want to know. And at that time, we knew there was a competency going on, so that was not a big deal. But Lauren decided to take the information from the actual report and go live with it. And Dr. John was
Oh,
talking about it. Dr. John's giving his diagnosis of Lori Vallow based on that document that they never actually got. They didn't get it. She just got the information through me.
wow.
Right. And
Wow.
I'm
Oh,
like, I'm
okay.
sitting here like, you can't, what are you doing? So I hauled them all into a call. I had them all in there, and Kay Woodcock was there too, because I was talking with Kay at the time, and any information I got went straight to the family, because that's just how you do things, right?
Right.
Um, and so I said, hey, guys, I know that we know this information because it was accidentally uploaded and this and that, but you can't make that public.
No.
What are you doing? You could jeopardize everything. You were not supposed to make that public. You knew you weren't supposed to make that public. What are you even doing? And the person that was in that call was so offended that I yelled at them in front of Kay Woodcock. So
Really?
now we've got narcissistic injury going on.
Yep.
You made
Oh
me
boy,
look
watch
bad
out.
in front of the family. How could you
Mhm.
make me look bad in front of the family? I'm trying to get close to the family and blah 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 blah. So their whole beef with me was because they looked bad in front of the family.
So that is what initiated it all.
That's what started all of it, because we were all best of friends until that day. And the email that I got from her, oh my word, I've never seen such craziness. And I'm thinking, you're only mad because you think Kay might not like you. You're not worried about the case. You're not worried about the family's feelings. You're not worried about the integrity of Lori's mental health eval. You're not worried about anything but
Right.
that you might look bad.
And that was what you were coming from a place of, listen, if this ends up splurged all over the internet, they could shut down everything for the public's viewing.
Yep. I also see Kresha in chat. Hi, honey. I miss you. Kresha is like one of my favorite people I've ever met in relation to this case. So I'm very excited that she's there. That is a Kay Woodcock's daughter, Kresha,
Oh, okay. I've
JJ's
heard
aunt.
I heard the name a lot the past few days.
Yeah.
Welcome, Kresha.
Yeah. Kresha has decided to be like, I'm not playing no more.
And you know what? And I said this before, and it's unfortunate that this is the way it goes, but oftentimes there are a lot of people who have the same experience with one person, but they don't quite have or realize they have the support to speak out. And sometimes it takes one person to speak out for others too. And the
Yeah.
irony in in this situation is that it took Lauren herself
Yeah.
to speak out to expose herself.
Yep.
Now, there was a
Absolutely.
question here, and it says, did I hear right that Lauren had people put money on Lori Vallow's books and blamed you
No.
for it? Okay.
No, 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 no. What happened with that Annie Elise, who's another true crime YouTuber,
Yeah, I'm
I don't know her
familiar.
personally, but she did an interview with someone somewhere where she said that one of a woman who used to work for her then went to work for Lauren or vice versa.
That would be
That
Grayson.
person at the time when I don't think it was Grayson. I think somebody
Oh,
said it
no?
wasn't. It might have been Lindsay or someone else. I'm
Oh,
not sure.
okay.
But one of Lauren's employees, at the time she was yelling at me for working for Lori Vallow, Lauren's own employee was putting money on Lori Vallow's books.
Mm.
That's crazy. That's crazy to me.
That is crazy. And I know the rumor I heard was that it was Grayson. And of course, I can't prove that. That's just the name that's been going around with that.
Hmm.
Oh, and that leads to this question. So, going by Lauren's track record, I guess it would be all in your opinion. Do you find it custom for her to get close to family so she can
Oh,
get the insider
100%.
information? Yeah.
Absolutely. And that's what my whole regret over these last 4 or 5 years is that I let that happen. I saw it happening because I saw them cozying up to the Woodcocks and any family member they could get their hands on. Um, and I'm thinking, oh no, because at that point I had seen Lauren's true colors, right? So I knew what
Right.
they were doing, and I thought, all right, I just got to call Kay and tell her. I just got to tell her, right? And I'm thinking, I can't call this family member who's dealing with this tragedy
Hmm.
and bring them YouTube drama. Are you
Right.
nuts? You
Right.
know? And I did call Kay one time about it, and I said, hey, Kay, that is not true. I understand why you're mad at me, but let me tell you what's really. And Kay said, listen, if I'm mad at you, honey, you will know you're good. I'm like, okay, bye. Right?
So did what was that a bit of fear that Lauren would get in their heads about you because you knew how she felt about you at that moment? Why would you assume that Kay would be upset with you?
Right, because they were going on this rampage of, oh, Awen is working for Mark Mean. She's working for Lori Vallow.
Hmm.
She's lying to the family. She's hurting the family. And I'm like, what on earth are you talking about? You know? And I
Right.
wanted to make sure at least Kay knew that wasn't true. But Kay already did know because the day I started talking to Mark Means, I told the family, right?
Right, and there's this thing anyway where, attorneys are not allowed to speak about their clients to just
Right.
anyone anyhow. So
Right. And I
there is
would
that legal aspect of it.
Right, we weren't even speaking about Lori Vallow per se, we were talking about all these other people, and Kresha knew, right? I had a whole Discord where we dumped all of the files that we found, and we were sorting through everything. Kresha was with me on that, she knew what I was doing. We were talking about the cult, and Kresha went so much farther than I did. And it blows my mind, the things that she's put together, but it wasn't a secret. Nothing I was doing was secret. Anything that they needed to know, they were told immediately. I told them I'm talking to Mark Means. I told Annie Cushing. I told Kay and Kresha and Larry and all of them.
Right.
Anyone that I talked to, they knew, hey, I am in communication with this person. I want you to know.
Right, you weren't
Okay,
being secretive and
not at all.
nefarious with it, and
Not at all.
wow.
And I did get a few little scoops because of that, obviously, as a reporter type person, that's what
Right.
you're doing it for, right? But my scoops were things like, um, oh, Chad Daybell got a jury summons while he was in jail.
Oh, okay,
That was
right.
my big scoop because Emma has a big mouth, you know. But like it wasn't anything big or important or it was just silly things like that. Um like Emma Daybell was the one who started blabbing to court TV about the grand jury. You're not supposed to talk about a grand jury, Emma. So it's not like I was getting this really super secret elite information and not sharing it, you know. But
Right.
that's what Lauren thought. She's like, well, she must stay close to me because she's getting all this information out of me. But when she did that with that court document with the mental evaluation, that was it. That was it. All
Eh,
gloves were off, and she just came at me like a Mack truck.
well, because Lauren assumed that's what you were doing because that's what Lauren does, right?
Right,
They
right.
often project their inner motives onto others in that aspect. So,
Yep.
she's staying close to certain people to get certain information. So that must be what you're doing, right?
Mhm.
It is amazing. So did you experience Lauren? So how did it get to the point where the YouTube comments became so detrimental to you?
Lauren's friend started that. Lauren's friend was working on a book, and she had a newsletter that went out every week about the
Okay.
case and stuff, and it was actually a pretty decent newsletter. I liked reading it. Um, but in one of them, right after that phone call happened, she said, "And I just want to let you know, there's a certain podcaster who claims to be for the family, but is working for Mark Means." Dun dun dun.
Oh,
That,
right.
and
The
I'm
anonymous, yeah.
just sitting here like, oh no, oh
Now we
no.
know the narrative that will be ran.
Yeah, here we go. Here we
Mhm.
go. And that's just started, of course, everybody, oh no, who could it be? And then 2 days of trying to figure out who I was, right? And I'm like, hi, she's talking about me, right?
Did you came out and you owned
Yeah.
it?
Yeah,
Yeah,
because it was all over Reddit and Facebook, you name it, it was everywhere. And I'm like, for crying out loud. I said, I'm talking to Mark Means. I don't work for Mark Means. All right.
right.
Can but nobody wanted to believe at that point because everybody loves a good villain story. They
Yes.
really do.
Yes, that's why I made my one of the first things I spoke on everything going on is how easy it is for the internet to make you the monster.
Hmm.
It takes one good
Yes.
sob story, one well-represented woman like Lauren to come on for 9 hours and to cry and to use catchphrases and all the heart-stringing terms to then turn you into the villain. And it is so true. It's my experience, it's your experience.
Yep.
Obviously, it's Christina's experience. And it's devastating and that's what I wanted to remind people because at that point it was all still new. We didn't know who was the villain in this story. We didn't know all of the details, but what I did know is that I watched firsthand as this woman who cried to be a victim of mean girl mentality set out for hundreds of thousands of people to go after one woman. And
Yep.
I'm like, wait a minute, you're dog whistling for mean girl
Yep.
mentality to take place.
And that was the first time Lauren's done that publicly. She does that behind the scenes. Right,
Yeah.
she gets other
Mm.
people to do that for her. She got her friend at the time to do that for her.
And that's what she was afraid of coming out, that all
Right,
these friends were going to
right.
come out and say, this is what Lauren does.
Yep,
So
yep, but
after that, so the question now is, after Lauren made that announcement about you, did you get an RO on her because you felt like your kingdom was threatened? I didn't even realize that was a joke at first.
I did not. I don't weaponize the courts. I don't do that.
Yeah.
If I had like my ex-husband, yeah, I've gotten orders on him because he tried to kill me a few times. He's
Oh,
a
I'm
bad, but
sorry.
that's physical, that's real life.
Right.
That's not somebody being mean to me on the internet, right? I don't go after internet people like that.
I
Um, I
I'm
probably
telling you.
should have come to
Right.
now, in retrospect, I might
Yeah.
have saved myself a lot, but eh,
And you could have. I actually was just watching the body cam. I uploaded a little short on it because the way her producer is so giddy at the idea of what has taken place. It speaks volumes when you don't listen to what these people are saying, but you watch how they're operating. And it was like
Mhm.
it was just so gross is the only word I could think of right now is how I felt watching the smiling, the smirking, the oh, one of her friends just came by and the cop's like, okay, like back to business. You know what I mean?
Ugh,
Like it was just so juvenile. And I
yeah,
just can't believe that she really thought she had something with this, that she really thought she would manipulate the masses into believing that all these women were upset with her, and yet she didn't even know what she did wrong.
right.
Hmm.
Right, and watching that, it was making me nauseous because she's sitting there crying, being all upset about Christina doing this to her. I'm like, "That's what you did to me. What are you
Right.
talking about? You don't get to cry foul now when you've done that yourself. Not just to me. I'm not the only one. There are more people to come out, and I'm pretty sure they will. But
That's what I'm noticing. It seems like
that's
surely but slowly people are getting their confidence, such
you know
as you,
why?
which is why no,
I
why?
I
What
figured this out last night. I had a big revelation. Because when I first started watching paying attention to this, I was
hmm
like, "Oh, oh, stay away." I got scared, I got all that stuff came back up again, right?
right? Yep.
Until I watched Turtle Boy. Now,
Oh,
I've
yeah.
heard of Turtle Boy. I didn't watch him too much because he's very how
Yes.
Turtle Boy is.
Yeah.
That's just not my cup of tea, but I supported what he was doing. I just didn't wanna sit there and watch it all day. Uh,
Right.
but I watched his coverage of Lorne's 9 Hour. And for the first few minutes, I felt very nervous, like, "Oh, here we go." Um, and then I just started laughing, and then I started laughing, and then he drew the eyebrows on the next day, and I about died from
Yeah,
laughing.
I know, that was hysterical.
But what he did for me was suddenly my big scary boogeyman was a
Was a
clown.
joke. Yeah,
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 exactly.
yeah.
He took all of that power away
I love
just with
that.
the way he reacted, and I was like,
I
whoa,
love
that was
that.
that was big. It was huge, and I even thanked him last night. I went to his live stream and gave him a big super chat just to thank him for doing that because he took all of that fear away from me in an instant by showing me that my monster was just a clown,
Yeah.
just a stupid little clown.
I love that. I love that for you because there is and again, unless people have experienced it, they don't quite understand the it's dramatic to call it PTSD, but there is this heart drop moment of like,
Yep,
"Oh, no, this is here again," right? Um,
absolutely.
and the fear of, like we said, looking at comments and, where do I fall in this? Do I speak? Do I not? And I love that Turtle Boy being the goofy, silly, jokester that he was in that moment, open your eyes to, this woman who appears so big and powerful in your
Yep.
world, was becoming smaller and smaller by the day as people were waking up to her facade that she had going on.
Absolutely, and it was like you see that in movies, in horror movies,
Yeah,
when the kid wakes up from a dream, "Oh, that was just a stuffed animal." It was
right.
that moment of, "Whoa, she's not scary.
I love
Uh-uh."
that.
And then I was like, "Alright, I gotta go make videos. Come on, let's go. Tap, tap."
And did you do that now, did you I'm very impulsive, right? So when I feel like making a video, I kinda do it and I don't put much thought into it. Was it one of those moments for you, or did you like I'll think about it all morning, right? Like I'll be in the shower, I'm gonna say this, I'm gonna say that, but when the mic comes on, I just because it just sometimes you just go off script and you become real and raw. Was this more scripted for you? Did you think it out, or did you just
Right,
spill it?
I took a couple days, actually,
Okay.
because what I went through at that time was so traumatic for my whole family
Mhm.
because of what it did to me.
I understand that.
I'm like, "I'm not putting you through this again unless we talk about this first."
Right.
Right? Like, I needed them to know that this is a possibility, it could go completely south, and I'm gonna freak out again, right? So we had to have a family meeting to make sure I was in the right
Mhm.
headspace to deal with it, and that my family was prepared, because we had to move last time. We had to get a
Really?
whole new place to live,
It was that
because
bad?
these flying monkeys, one of them knew my real name and address, and
Oh,
she was trying to dox me everywhere, knowing all the stuff with my ex-husband and him trying to kill me.
Mm,
So we literally had to move because I didn't want to get shot. I don't want my kids to get shot. This
right.
guy's looking for me. So we moved. I had therapy. I had doctor's appointments. I had an ulcer. All of the. I mean, it was really, really bad. It was about as bad as it can get. So we had to have a family meeting. And I also talked to two of my moderators from my channel way back years ago are still friends of mine,
Oh,
and
I
we're
love
very
that.
close. And we sat and we had a big round table. I was like, guys, should I do this? And they're like, uh, maybe not.
Right. Kind of feeling out what type of place are you in, and are you in a place to do this? So that is interesting. So when this happened to you, the impact was so great. And I said this during my video, it's nailed it on the head. We never know what people are going through. So it wasn't just that Lauren, kind of exposed you in that format and people were searching for you, but you had a real life stalker. You experienced real life domestic violence and you were hiding from this abuser of yours. Am I still here? Did I freeze out? I'm still here. Oh, she froze out. Okay. I'll drop the link again. And that is what I was trying to explain to people. And I heard a lot of people giving the excuses to Lauren. Her brother passed, her family member. And I understand and respect that, but we also don't know what the quote unquote stalker was going through. And could she handle hundreds of thousands of people coming at her? Because we never know what the other person is experiencing. Now, I hate to admit this, but my cat has been biting at me the entire time to be fed. So if you could please give me one moment and hopefully we can get um, Awen back up here. And Kresha, of course, you are more than welcome to join. Just one quick second, guys. I am so sorry. I'll tell you, my cat sure does have great timing. No worries, Awen. I get it. The weather has been crazy. Am I the only one hoping that Halloween weather stays nice and holds off? Um, it is fascinating. You know what it is for me? It is I don't want to say I don't want to use the word validating, right? Because it's not validating. It is comforting to know it's not even comforting. I don't even know how I would phrase this other than I'm not alone in my experiences, right? And others aren't alone either. And if that's one good thing that is going to come from Lauren, it is the awareness of many people, such as Awen, such as myself, such as many others who have experienced that deep level of silencing. I don't know how else to say it. Like you feel so small, you feel so overpowered. And that is it's a sad truth. Welcome back.
I am sorry about that.
No, that's okay.
It's crazy. And all of a sudden the lights start going off and I'm like, what? And I talk realizing I'm not talking anymore because I'm like, oh, hi.
That I was saying, I said similar in my video that we never know what somebody else is going through. So you weren't just experiencing the, hundreds of people online saying like, who is it? Where is she? But you're hiding from an actual Uh,
Mob.
uh, right. Well, not just a
Yep.
mob, but a man in your life who has
Yeah.
harmed you.
Yes. And
Actual
I've told that
stalking,
story.
harassment, DV.
I have an entire podcast telling the story of my relationship with him and recovering from it. So these
Mhm.
people knew that I was dealing with that. Lauren knew I was dealing with that. Her friend knew I was dealing with that. And yet they did this anyway. Like
Right.
what kind of evil is that?
With zero concern for what it would do to you and
Or
your
my
your
children, yep.
right. Right.
And
But
that's why
then when
Lauren
they
getting all upset about her son. My son was
yes.
so upset. I'm like, "Oh, what'd you do to mine?"
I was just about to say the same thing because then when these people who don't care about your family, your children, your well-being, when they find themselves in a spotlight, a similar position, the first thing they shield behind is their own children. I've
Yep.
experienced the same thing. And it's like,
Yes,
are
you
you
do.
kidding me? Like
And
everybody should now care. You not that I don't care about children, I care about all the children, but did you give any concern for mine?
right. And can we talk about Lauren's thing about her son? When I first heard that, I'm like, wait a minute, your son is 8 years old? Why does he know any of this?
I know.
If you're telling your son about this, you are a horrible parent.
Right.
Horrible. And if you're lying about that and
It's
you're
even
just using it, then you are doubly a horrible parent.
mhm.
I'm
No, I
like,
did
what is wrong with that?
I at first I gave the excuse of like our children can kind of sense us, right? When we're not being ourselves, when
Right?
we're depressed and and all of that. But then when I heard that she said that he was basically having a difficult time eating from the stress of it all,
That's crazy to me.
I was jaw dropped. I mean, eh, but yet you still went to CrimeCon, yet you still were out traveling and out
Right?
and you didn't think to stay home and comfort like, that could backfire in so many ways because that was my thought. Well, why go spend time at CrimeCon? You should be home with your child who's
Yep.
struggling to that extent. Are you kidding me?
Yep. So that's
Wow.
why I didn't believe, because I did go into her video giving her the benefit of the doubt, like, oh, she's being stalked. Oh no, that's awful. And then as
Right.
I'm listening, I'm like, what? What is happening here?
Mhm.
And it's just I can't. But for someone like that to play on all these people's sympathies when she is the one who has perpetrated that against so many other people, just it blew my mind. I mean, I study narcissists, I know, but I'm always shocked by this stuff.
Yeah.
It's too much. It's too much.
Is that what you think that, Lauren is ultimately to you?
I mean, I'm not a doctor. I can't make a diagnosis,
Right,
but
right.
she certainly hits the hallmarks.
Mhm.
But she also hits the hallmarks of histrionic and borderline and all the other cluster bees. She's like got all of them. I don't
Well,
know.
and I that's what I was thinking at first too, like, I'm sorry that Lauren feels this way, right? I'm like, maybe she really feels that but then when you watch all the footage and you hear, all of the courtroom and you see all the exhibits and you're like, she didn't feel that way. She wanted to make it appear that way.
Right.
She was literally creating evidence, in her own words, creating evidence to make it appear as if she was, afraid and being stalked. But every time, all I saw, she's like, they're recording us. Well, you're recording them.
Right.
It was quite ironic. And it made me wonder because she mentioned having four lawyers. And I'm like, did you consult any which one of them before doing this?
Right.
Because what a bad idea.
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
my goodness.
Yeah, it's kind of great. And I was as
It's true.
I wanted to know. I didn't know have any idea who Christina was, so I better go watch all of these TikToks to see what's going on. And as I watched them, I was like, she just sounds like a woman that broke up with her boyfriend, being mad.
Right.
That
Right.
that's the energy I got from it. It was like, oh, you're so how you would make little snarky TikToks about your ex
Right, like,
boyfriend.
"You'll never get a better girl than me."
Right,
Like,
right.
yeah, I
That's all it
agree.
was. I was like, that's not stalking. What are you talking about?
And I'll be the first to say it, I wasn't much impressed with Christina's, behavior, but like I said, I think it was during the same video, I've experienced that level of gaslighting, that level of
Yes.
you're the bad guy, you're the monster, and where you're being accused of doing all these things to somebody who's actually doing it to you. And you will come across unhinged trying to expose that.
Right.
I know without a doubt there are videos of me sounding like a complete maniac.
Oh, no.
But because I was just I was at such a place of like, is this are you serious? Is this real?
Right.
Do you know what I mean? Like where you just kind of question yourself and you're like, wait a minute. No. No, I'm not the monster.
Right. Yeah.
Oh.
I mean, I had my unhinged moment yesterday. That video went a little sideways, but
You didn't sound unhinged by any means. I mean, I had unhinged screaming on top of my lungs, like, look what you've done to me.
oh
Like,
no.
oh my, I know. Not my finest moment, but that's what happens when you're being you, right? Some emotions
Right.
can't be faked. And I'm still at an angry stage. I'm very angry uh
Yep.
with my experience. And there is a level of stages you go through. I can be angry one moment and crying the next. And I know you know what I mean.
Yep. Oh,
Um,
definitely. Definitely. You can be angry and crying at the same time. It's like you don't there
oh, I'm an angry
your brain
crier.
gets twisted. There's just too much.
Right.
There's too
I'm
much. Your
I'm
brain
definitely
can't
an
hit
angry
process.
crier.
Yep.
Yeah, and I couldn't believe in the video. So CrimeCon actually had Christina removed. And
That's so wrong, in my
I
opinion.
know.
That is really wrong.
I know.
And I was wondering, like, how can you stalk someone by buying tickets to CrimeCon, what, a year in advance?
A
And
year in
not knowing
advance.
that person's gonna be there? That's not stalking.
Well,
Hello?
and for me, it was like, at what point does Lauren have accountability, right? If you're terrified of these people, why are you going to CrimeCon? You know?
Yep. But I would also bet, from what I've seen so far and what I've dug up, Christina has a strong lawsuit.
I
She could
believe that's why
I
she's
think she
been
does.
silent. I
Yeah, I do
agree.
too. Yep. Her lawyer said, "Shut up. Let's work
I
on this. Don't say a word."
I absolutely agree, and I hope she does because I think one of the things Lauren did, by pulling that from the courtroom and onto public, now the public's the courtroom. I believe that she was comfortable at the idea of it remaining there, right? She was going to leave with the control of the narrative, and the only way for any of this to end is to end up back in a courtroom.
Yep. And can you imagine the witness list? "Hi,
Oh my
Christina, you got
goodness.
my email.
Shoot me an email.
Bring me in, coach."
It's fascinating. It would be fascinating to kind of see, um, just how many people there are.
Yep. Yeah, but I bet a lot of people aren't willing to come out yet. I hope they will. If they went
Right.
through what I went through, I'd get that 100%.
Yeah.
But I had that moment watching Turtle Boy where suddenly she turned into a clown, and once you lose the fear,
Mhm.
it's all different. The world is so different right now. But if people are still in that fear place, then yeah,
Well,
it's hard to come out.
and one of the things I think would make it easier for people to come out is the fact that so many people right now see Lauren for what she is.
Right.
So there's like you said, you were kinda like, "Ooh, I don't know about this video," and look at all the unbelievable pouring support for you,
Yep. Yeah,
you
and I'm
know?
not out here trying to play the victim. I'm not, like,
No.
fishing
Mm-mm.
for support. I was gonna actually turn comments off completely and just put the video up
I'm glad you did it.
because of the flying monkeys, because I don't need that back in my life. But
Right.
now I'm like, "Alright, right, what are you gonna do to me? I'm not monetized. I don't really care about my YouTube channel if it stays or dies, whatever. You have no power over me."
Right.
Right? There are other people that may not be able to say that just yet. I'm hoping they'll get there, um,
I hope they do
because
too.
it's gotta stop. My whole goal in all of this is not to hurt Lauren or destroy her or get sympathy or get lots of subs. My goal is to make it stop before somebody else gets hurt and to put myself as a human shield between her and that family.
Right.
You want them? You're coming through me this time, girl. You are not getting to that family if I have breath in my body. That's
Well,
it.
and it because, her motives are exposed at this point, right?
Yep.
There's it's very it's very obvious what people like her do. I hate that she was ever able to even get you to the place where you vanished from YouTube. It seems like a lot of people missed your content. You brought a lot of comfort to people and really cheering you on being back, and so am I. And like you said, not to make yourself the victim or, the
Right.
hero or anything like that, but just to expose that no, these are the real things that happen. This is the real monsters that families of crimes have to be exposed to. This is what they
Mhm.
do. They're vultures, and they come across as caring and, so sweet, but you just see the for me, I will never see Lauren the same. I almost it's like I see her now radiating this evil intent to
Right.
her.
Yeah, and you can see it. It is almost an aura that's almost visible, you know? And for me, I think what I wanna do now, having the few moments I've had the last week processing all of this, I wanna talk about bullying. I wanna do
Yeah,
something to help other people that are being bullied online,
right,
because it's such an insidious thing, and it's so hard to deal with because people act like you're crazy. "Oh, it's just the internet. Oh my god, stop. Go touch grass." It's like, "No,
right.
this is real. The
Especially when
the
it impacts
impact
your
is
real
real."
life. Yeah.
Exactly. And we don't have a coping skill for that in our society. It's too new. We haven't really learned how to deal with that. And we need ways to do it. So maybe that's something I want to put my focus on now and be like, let's call it out, let's stop it, let's identify it, let's heal from it, and let's prevent it.
Well, one of the biggest things too is that people like Lauren prey upon people who have experience. Well, let me put it this way. People like Lauren water down terms.
Right.
Especially somebody like Lauren who covers true crime, who's very versed in that type of legal world, for her to use terms like stalking and harassment and fear, and then add in, the emotional of the child and the eating disorder and this and that. And it's like you are watering down such serious terms to basically prevent yourself from being exposed.
Yep.
How dare you? And did she even consider the hundreds and thousands of people like yourself, like myself, that have experienced real life stalking, real life fear, real life harassment? Did she even consider the place she was putting them in when she came out with her own, mean girl script? It's just so, oh, it aggravates me.
I know.
How,
You just want to scream and punch something. Not
right.
her. I'm not threatening her. Just punch the wall. That's what I
Right,
meant.
right. Scream and punch the air, scream into a
Right.
pillow. I
Right.
mean, the amount of people I saw sharing their own experience. Oh, Lauren, I've experienced stalking and it was the scariest time of my, and blah, blah, blah. And it's like Lauren was not being stalked. Lauren was stalking to try to prevent criticism. She was trying to silence critics. That's it. That's all. She was creating every which scenario in which she claimed stalked. She went to the restaurant they were sitting at. She went to Crime Con knowing they would be there. She was putting herself at it infuriates me.
It does, because you can imagine anyone who's really experienced stalking walking up to where their stalker is and just sitting there on the phone like, "Hi, please, my stalker's here." I
Right.
mean,
Wha
no, you run.
right.
You
And not
don't
only
do
that, but
that.
the last thing you do is come on the internet and poke at them.
Yep.
That
Yep.
right there is when, the shield, the curtain, if you will, dropped for me, because you don't poke the aggressor. And with Lauren, that was my whole thing. Well, if you were afraid before, what changed now?
Right.
9 hours of a live stream calling somebody a stalker. You can get all the support in the world from all these people, but how does it stop the real life, quote unquote, fear?
Mhm.
Mm,
Yep, but remember, I don't think Lauren has genuinely, I don't think she has the ability to empathize with another human. I don't think she has it. I think she's learned a lot of cues and how to fake it and how to,
mm.
the expected reactions, like from watching movies and things. But
That's
I don't think
interesting.
in her own psychology, I don't think she actually can empathize with someone else. So when she's trying to talk about having a stalker, she doesn't have a good frame of reference for how to act the part.
Wow.
She hasn't watched enough movies about stalkers and stuff, so she doesn't know what she's supposed to be saying or supposed to be doing,
That's very
which is why it was
interesting.
so obvious.
Right. And it's very interesting you say that, because then Dr. John comes along, right? And he
Yeah.
sits down, and his glorified mansplaining was miraculous. I tuned in for about 1 minute, if that, and I couldn't bear another second because all I heard was, people that released messages. And I'm like, well, wait a minute. I thought this was about stalking and harassment. And, tell us again what the real issue is without telling us.
Right. Hmm.
It was exploitation. She exploited people who've actually experienced the real
Yeah, she
fear.
did.
Hmm.
And she's exploiting all of her supporters by feeding them this line of baloney, and having all their support. And you know how much money she made on
Oh,
super
yeah.
chats? Oh my
I heard it
lord.
was over like 9,000.
That's ridiculous.
Mhm,
That's
and then all the
ridiculous.
ad revenue thereafter and all of that, and,
Yep.
there is this privileged side of it, right? And I appreciate what Lauren did because it did bring awareness to a problem a lot of creators are facing, like myself, where somebody abuses the courtroom to silence critics. So I
Yep.
was actually sued by Dog the Bounty Hunter and 9 other people.
No.
Yes. I'm
Oh
still going
no.
through it. They appealed.
Sebastian Rogers stuff?
Yep, yep.
Oh no.
And it became this, and I was solely picked on location. I mean, it was admitted as much. They had jurisdiction over me, so I was an easy, pick out of the hat, because of
Right.
the jurisdiction. But there's this level of power that somebody like Dog the Bounty Hunter and Lauren have because they do have the 300,000 subscribers, and Dog the Bounty Hunter has the following of millions. And,
Right.
then you have somebody like me, you, Christina, and others that have experienced this type. And we're like all the way down here on the bottom. People don't even see us.
Hmm. Yeah, we're
Yeah,
we're just little bumps in their road,
right.
so yeah, something we gotta work as a society and figure out what to do because this is just one little person. Lauren is a tiny little person in the big scheme of things, and I am way tinier than her. But it's impactful. It's real. It's got to stop. And I want, man, I have to be really careful about how I say this. I
Yeah.
don't want Lauren to be harmed in any way, shape, or form. I
Mm,
want to help her. I've tried to reach out to help her to be like, girl, girlfriend, let me help you get out of this mess. Um, Not that I think it would work. I don't think it would work because she doesn't have the psychological capacity to change the way she
mm,
needs to change, and
that's
that's okay.
interesting.
But I want her to stop hurting other people.
Right.
I want her to not jump on the next big case that comes along and do the same thing to that family while making millions of dollars off their backs and their pain.
Now, what do you mean about doing that to that family? What is it that you saw Lauren do that you would like to prevent in the future?
First of all, she made millions of dollars off
Mhm.
their pain and their tragedy. Uh, I don't see her cutting them a check. I don't see her
Mm,
starting. Kay Woodcock once talked about doing the foundation in JJ's name. And I'm like, let me know. I got money. Let's do this. I would send
right,
as much money as I could to that. I don't see Lauren saying, hey, let me do this. Let me
right. Let
start
me use
this
my
foundation.
platform to
Right,
help. Yeah,
right. She lied to them. I don't know about how big she lied because I wasn't privy to their conversations, but I know she at least lied about me. And if she'd lie about me 5 years ago, what kind of stories was she telling this whole last 5 years?
right.
And
Good
about
point.
who? you know. And I remember watching a video once where Lauren and John were there with her son, saying that, "Oh, my son is so close to Larry now. He calls him Papa," and I was like, "Oh my
Mm.
god!" I
You know what I
wanted to
heard
vomit.
during her stream when she said, "Oh, there's my victims."
Oh no!
Oh, yep. Oh, there's my victims.
Oh, I
I
didn't even
I
hear that.
couldn't believe it.
And that's true because in her mind, they are her victims. That's why she ran me off because she knew I was getting close to them.
Right. And she wanted to be the only one.
Yeah, because it's like she thinks talking to the victims' families makes you special. No, it doesn't make you. You are not the thing here.
Right.
They are the thing here.
Well,
You know.
and not only that, but they're not. It's almost like a prop for her production, right?
Right.
Oh, I'm close to the family and the insider scoop and all of that, and she made it about her and not about them.
Right.
Now, this is a very interesting statement. I've studied my aunt and her cult's behaviors for 6 years. I see the same projection type behavior in Lauren. That's interesting. Very
Well,
interesting.
this is where you need Kresha. This
I know. I
is
wish she would
Kresha's.
come up. Come on up.
Kresha, if you're still here, come on up. This is your time. What she will explain to you is how the word cult fits into Lauren Matthias, and everything suddenly makes sense.
Hmm.
Everything will make sense. Um, yeah, Kresha, her channel is called Difficult Research,
Oh, yeah, that's her
and
comments that
yeah,
I'm reading. Yeah, she says
yeah,
it again right here. Lauren never, only if she felt she had to publicly, which I can count on one hand, never shared or promoted my channel. I know more about the Mormon community than she ever will.
yes, she'll come up.
Yay, please do. I would love for you to.
Yeah, Kresha put some pieces together that a lot of people do not like, but she's
Mm.
nailed it.
Well, you
So,
know what? The truth isn't always pretty.
mm-mm.
Now, this has been asked a few times. Did you have any experiences with Dr. John?
No, thankfully, other than watching him and being disgusted by some of the things he said,
I
he and
know.
I never. She never let. Okay, at
Oh,
least
she said
back
she
then.
doesn't take away.
Oh,
Kresha said she doesn't want to
Kresha,
take away from
please.
you.
Kresha,
That's so sweet.
absolutely. You need to. Yeah, this is your thing. But yeah, I don't think Lauren lets Dr. John interact with the people, so to speak.
Oh,
She
more like a
gatekeeps
prop.
access to him. Yeah.
I wish she would gatekeep it a little more because that
I know,
video
huh?
the other day. Spare us. He's holding the book and she's trying to pretend she's interested. And it was so oh, it was so unbelievable. And it's also unbelievable that somebody of his education, his background, would allow his child to be exploited in that format, knowing how ridiculous it all sounds.
Right. Either he's allowing his child to be harmed by this, or he's allowing her to lie about their child.
Mm,
Either way, it's like,
which one?
oh, okay, this is not good.
Neither are good. And I've noticed that a lot of people in my own experience, somebody who used their children against me in the litigation, it's like a shield that they automatically go to. And then you dive a little bit deeper and you're like, oh, I see why you would protect yourself by shielding yourself with a child. Like you are right on par for the type of person who would do that. Because most of us shield our children from
Right.
harm. We don't,
Yep.
I couldn't believe that though. I actually, again, I didn't watch the whole 9 hours. I couldn't be bothered to. But I saw that today and I was baffled that anybody would admit that and say that on the internet. And yet you continued engagement.
Yep.
Mm.
It was torturous interference for sure.
Yeah. So you know all the legal terms as well, huh?
Yeah. I'm good at that
Hmm.
torturous legal stuff. Yeah. But yes, Kresha, I would absolutely love to share this stage with you because, girl, you got some things to say.
Yeah.
Hmm.
And we are all very interested. It is. Here's a good question, if you don't mind, if you want to I mean, you did share a little bit, but Cindy Jones is asking again. Uh, what was it that Lauren said or did that made you it was the exposing that you were speaking
She
with the attorney, right?
there were a whole lot of things, but she started with that I was working for Lori Vallow's attorney on Lori Vallow's behalf to
Mm.
help Lori Vallow while lying to the family, pretending that I was against Lori Vallow. That's not true. It did not happen.
Uh, and then we find out it was actually her own little friend putting money on the books.
Yep. There she is.
Welcome. Hello. Good morning. Kresha.
I think your mic's muted.
Oh, there it goes.
There
Sorry,
she
I was
is.
having sound problems.
Hi. Good morning.
If you close YouTube in the back,
I
I
couldn't.
think that's causing a bit delay.
You did, or I need to?
You need to.
Okay. Okay. Let me mute myself for right now.
Oh wait, you're right here with us now. It sounds like it caught up.
Okay. I'm freaked out. I'm paranoid by the damn sounds experiences I've been having lately. I'm like,
Are,
no, I don't want to be in
are they
that
messing
proverbial
with the
trap.
internet on us?
Yeah, crazy. So I didn't hear what y'all were saying. So that's I couldn't hear the program, So I was like, oh no, my speakers aren't working. Great.
Oh yeah, when you first join StreamYard
Yeah.
for a second, it takes that moment to catch up. Yeah.
But I'm glad
So
y'all are having this discussion. I'm glad to
yeah.
hear Awen still going and hitting the blazing the trails, girl. You need to. Oh my God.
I'm on a mission.
Yep. Yep.
And you
Like
know
I
what? You have hundreds behind you on that mission and so much empowerment to both of you. What did it feel like for you, Kresha, to see this all kind of crumble before you the way it has? Is this something you expected to happen? You wanted
mm,
to happen? Or is it kind of like you saw it happen? You're like, yeah, it was
well,
only a matter of time.
kind of. I mean, it's a nerve-wracking experience because I don't like drama. Don't do it. I know I do sound
Mhm.
like my mom. I know. I've gotten that so many times. But it's a long time coming. Like this has been on my shoulders for sure. I mean, I kept it there because I don't want to go burden anybody else with Lauren's crap. Like it's and you'd had to have kind of been there at that time because there was so many things going on
Mm.
at that very time. It was the ultimate low point of this entire experience for me, at least.
Now, what time are you referring to?
2021.
Okay.
This is whenever, right at the same time that the indictments came down for Lori and Chad.
Hmm.
Chad was, what do they call that? Arraigned.
The arraignments. Hmm.
And then, his preliminary hearing followed. And I'm kind of getting my timeline backed up there. I'm like, wait, how does this go? Anyways, and it's a blur too, because again, there was so much going on. It's like complex, trauma going on there. There's a
Right.
lot of stuff going on at that same time. But so it was 2021. It was when the indictments came down. So it was like May of 2021. It might have been a little before that, but it was like, and because I could kind of like see what was going on, but I didn't know the details, and I didn't want to
Right.
know really. I was trying to I don't want to be uh, responsible for uh, getting information that's not coming from where it's supposed to come from. I don't want to touch anything. I don't want to hear anything. I don't care. I'll wait for the proper channels, for the proper time, proper legal process, because I don't want to jeopardize getting justice for Lori and Chad for I don't want to be responsible for them coming back out, being free again. My mom was on their list. My mom was on their list. And I'll
Oh,
never forget that. But at the same time, that was happening. I just didn't quite know what. And if I do, I don't remember now, until Awen came and has been sharing. And I buried it so deep because I had to kind of get over it.
right.
There's so many things. Look, like my mind's going okay, there's this, but I got to lead you there. So I'm kind of short circuiting you a little bit, but because it all just bubbles up and it just wants to explode. I just want to say it all, but
I know what you mean. Like
yeah,
your brain's going 100 miles, but you can only
yeah,
get so many words out. I understand exactly what you're saying.
yeah.
So I mean I could dive deep into your mind because I have so many
Do it.
questions.
I dare
Wh-
you. Come on, I need that.
What please allow me then if you don't mind.
Yeah,
So
let's
one
unpack.
what what was what was it like seeing your family suddenly in the news in this aspect? And seeing people like Lauren and others turn your family's tragedy into a hashtag.
Mm, that is so deep. That is so
I told
freaking
you I
deep.
could go deep because I
It's
really I'm
weird.
curious.
Well, no, I've thought about all this so too. So it's a good question. It's bizarre. It's also it gave me comfort if I'm gonna pick something positive out of it. It gave me comfort to see their faces because we were all grieving in our own way. I
Mhm.
don't know if people envisioned like a kumbaya or so. I don't know. I don't know what people perceive, but it was challenging. I like gained a whole new respect for my family. Like I was always kind of the outcast, the outlier.
Mhm.
I was dubbed as too emotional, you know,
Okay. Yeah.
which I'm like, really? That's it's sent me introspecting, you know, like I went to go figure out what does it mean to be too emotional? What do you mean? Like that's anyways. So that was around the same time when my uncle was murdered and then followed by the kids being missing and then, you know, finding out their demise. I mean, I was already on this kind of soul search mission, you know, or I don't know, deep dive into myself, just trying to figure out what was what and who I was. But
Right.
then when Charles happened, I mean, it opened me up, and I say it like that because it it shattered me. It destroyed my mind. Like I don't know. I was just all of a sudden hyper aware, hyper vigilant, very protective, and it really sucked because I just wanted to protect everybody, like especially my mom and Larry and my brother. That's the three, you know, and my kids, just my family, and so it gave me like a newfound appreciation for my family, you know, and what that means in the grand scope of things. It gave me um, value into what it means for my posterity, for future generations, what it means generationally, you know, like there it's so deep. But to see my parents on news and Dateline, and I'm like, what is actually happening? I mean, I've also learned there is an underbelly. There is a dark side with everything. There's a light side, there's a dark, you know, there's always something that we're not seeing. And a lot of that has been like I see a lot of exploitation even with the news outlets, with the datelines, with the TV shows, with CrimeCon.
Mhm.
I know I'm gonna piss a lot of you off, but you know, you need to hear it. You need to know, at least from my perspective. Nobody else, I don't really know anybody else talking about it. It's cringe. It is the most
Yeah.
cringy thing I've ever experienced. I still don't even really know how to word it.
I know exactly what you mean because I used to say the same thing. It's like, "Hey, let's come gawk at people's
Yeah,
tragedies
it's a
and"
little gross. Yeah, I
right,
mean,
"pay a few
also,
extra dollars and you can meet the father of a murder victim." And it's
yeah,
like,
no,
"Are
no,
you
no.
kidding?"
That I'm grossed out by that shit. I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm grossed
Yeah,
out by it. Like, yeah, like you said, to gawk at.
right.
That's a
It
perfect
is. It's
word.
yeah.
My mom
And
actually
you know
said
what?
that's a
And I'm
worry.
I'm actually a bit guilty of it myself because I do love true crime and I love the podcast and I love the museums and I love all, and I was even saying the other day, Netflix does that series of monsters and it's the Ed Gein and, all of those stories and they
Yeah.
make these characters so attractive and then they become, the people start fantasizing about relationships with Ed Bundy and it's just it's such a bizarre
Mhm.
weird world.
But
I
I think
think we have I think we've
oh,
crossed the line in our culture from being curious about what makes serial killers tick and
there
why
you go.
murders happen into
Fandom,
abject entertainment.
Yes.
fandom and entertainment, yes.
But
That's
but
good.
there's always been a bit of entertainment to it, right? Because if you go
Right.
all the way back, there was board games like Clue, Who Done It, and
Well,
Right.
that
people
tells you
feeling,
that's
yeah,
kinda interesting if you think about it, because who's behind Clue? I always look behind things now. I don't trust anything at face
oh,
value. I look
interesting,
behind and what's the motive? What like, who are their family and what's their agenda, you know?
right? That's interesting. I never thought of that. So
It's
when this was all going on, so you had obviously a whirlwind of emotions, right? Who
oh,
am
yeah.
I, and how did this all come to be? And this is my family, and what all of that. And what was your first experience with Lauren?
With Lauren,
Yeah.
let's see. I just remember seeing this couple because these Facebook groups started, Justice for Tylee, JJ, Let's Find the Missing Kids, that kind of thing. And I
Hmm.
mean, I joined everyone. I know I didn't join every one of them because I didn't know about them all, but I joined so many of them. And I appreciated the fact that people were responding and, everybody was pissed. Everybody was concerned and worried and like, what's going on here? And so it was good to see that, like just community kick into action. A lot
Right.
of caring people that taught me even so many things, just how to do things, anyways, especially 'cause I had no idea about hashtags. I thought it was just something like the latest saying or something. I know I feel like a boomer, but I was like, oh, I didn't know a hashtag could actually bring you to the subject,
Yeah.
or keywords, search engine optimization. I didn't know all that, but I learned very quickly and on my own at the same time. So
While going through all of this being
yeah,
like your actual world, your real life, I couldn't imagine what a roller coaster that would be like.
I always wanted to be in the back. I did. It's like it was important to me for Larry and Mom to be united, a united front.
Hmm.
To that, and that's basically how I viewed them. They're speaking. You can't have like just everybody coming out here and there, everywhere, and there's no like authoritative or go to. I don't want to say authoritative, but just that source of, okay, they represent this family. Okay. But in the background, there's Charles that had gotten murdered. And then you can't just come out with those kind of accusations. You can say what happened and allegedly and blah, 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 which Awen taught me. My kids probably are like, oh my God, thanks for not, I wish you wouldn't have done that, because
Yeah,
I had to pound it in so I wouldn't
slip
get
up and say
myself
it.
in trouble. Yeah.
I'm with you. I now say like due to legal action, everything I say is a joke. Like you just learn, like even in my everyday life, I'm like, oh, you didn't do your homework last night, allegedly. Like it's just so I
Yeah,
get what
we
you're
do it. They
saying.
say
Where
it too.
yeah, it's
Yes.
like engraved into your everyday words now, and it's
Yeah,
actually sad that we live in a society where
it
we have
is.
to do that, but
Yep.
we do. So
Yep. Well,
I'm
nonsense
sorry.
right there is saying, I hate saying this, but I really believe that Lauren and others, oh, let me grow it.
Right
Others,
here, almost tried to push divide between family members to move in closer and become the support they needed.
bingo, because that's exactly what I believe happened. So joining those
Really?
Facebook groups, I noticed that there was this couple promote, like just kind of moving through the circuit, I'll just call it a circuit, of these Facebook groups. And it's like they branded themselves and were trying to get the attention of Larry and Kay. So
Mm,
targeted, if you will. I mean, that's my experience. That's what I saw. And at first, I was like the first one to start listening to their podcast because I'm the one who, told my mom to listen to them
right.
too.
You found like the internet aspect of everything and then
Right.
introduced it. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And just share it. I mean, I watch everything and listen to everything. I mean, now that's kind of impossible, but um, this whole time I've watched so many creators from big to small, and I mean, I appreciate everyone's perspectives. It helps me to kind of try to stay balanced,
That's interesting.
researching into the whole Lori and Chad, their circle, and the Mormon church. And so I have to do what I have to do, and I have to talk about the things I talk about. I know they're difficult. Nobody wants to talk about religion, politics, and there's a song, religion, politics, and her, or whatever. You don't talk about these three things, and that's the things I have to talk about. Kind of, they go into politics, but
Well,
it's seems like they were targeted though. Going back to that,
because and to be fair, religion's a big part of your family's tragedy, right? So how can you not speak on it?
because it's public and it's messy, and I don't do mess, and I didn't quite have I didn't have the courage. And if
That's
I can't even
interesting.
convince my mom, that I think this woman is shady as all get out and doing all this stuff behind the scenes, then who okay. So I kind of had to take a back seat, and I distanced myself
That's an
because
interesting statement. Did you So you were trying to warn your mom. She wasn't heeding the warning. She just couldn't see it. How did that
Mhm.
make you feel? Did
Like,
you feel pushed
also
aside?
invisible, also invisible. Just very
Yeah.
not like just not relevant.
Is that where the you're too emotional part came in?
My what part?
You were saying how your family would kind of say like you're just too emotional, like you're
Yeah, I
too.
guess maybe she did. I didn't even think about that, but probably, or maybe because their experience was different than mine. I mean, which I hope it was. I hope it was way different. I hope, but I mean, it kind of is not turning out to be that way. Here we
No,
are, many years
what
down the road.
what is your experience like
Oh,
with
just
Lauren?
feeling torn. First off, because like I said, I watch everybody. I listen to everybody, whether I like them or not, whether I care about, care for their content or not. I
Mm,
watch and listen because everybody, I mean, I could be wrong. I could be totally wrong and biased, but I'm gonna listen and at least hear their point. I might bitch at the TV,
right.
but I'm snarking all the time. But I'm gonna at least you can't tell me that I didn't listen and see their point, but I don't believe in cancel culture either, but I mean, so did Lauren said that, and then she deleted or, struck my video. And I'm like, okay, cancel culture queen.
Yeah, tell us about that. Why do you think she struck your video?
Well, I think it goes back to like her experience in the church because there's a lot of double
Mm,
speak. This is my opinion. There is a lot of double speak, and so they say there's a lot of this saying one thing but then doing the other.
yeah.
And I've actually seen that in that 9-hour video. I'm like, ew, she's saying one thing but doing another.
Yep.
You know, she even like, okay, there's another family member on the other side of this, that's also like defending her.
That's
And
offending Lauren.
yes, and it
Yes.
sucks because I'm like,
Mm,
oh no, 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 no. I was there too. I was there for the live stream. I had to put my differences aside. I've been trying to do that because I'm like, well, obviously, nobody else is seeing anything. Nobody else is, maybe she cleaned her ass up, or her act up or whatever. Maybe she's better. I don't know. But I tried to give like a benefit of the doubt, just like maybe it's me. Maybe I'm just demonizing her or something. I don't know. And or finding fault in her. And so, and then she looked so distressed. She looked distressed. She acted distressed. The video title was alarming. It
right.
was um
It was a production.
it was
It's
serious.
exactly right. It's exactly what my title is. Lauren's entire thing was a production. It was
Exactly.
I mean, the only thing she was
Yes.
missing was the violin music behind her. You know what I mean? It
Yeah.
had the perfect catchphrases, it had the perfect
Mhm.
mood
Shock
setting.
value.
Yeah,
The shock
exactly.
value. That's
And what
something.
she forgets is that with people with her personalities, what we say is every accusation is a confession.
Yes,
There you
I
go.
say that all the time about the people I'm dealing with. Oh
Projection,
my
man.
goodness, you nailed it on the head. I say that all the time. I'm like, listen, what
I
they
never heard
accuse you of
it.
is actually confession to what they are doing.
That's
And
why I call it
Yep,
projection. So
yeah,
it
it
is,
is.
I'm learning
100%.
something. I love it. I love learning.
It actually falls into Darvo, you know. I mean, there are
Yes.
people
Yes,
that just it is such it's a mind fuck. I mean, to put it quite frank, that's what it is. And
it is.
I can't imagine how both of you ladies felt being on the receiving end of like, wait, I see this woman for exactly who she is,
Mhm.
and I can't protect the people I love from
Mm-mm.
somebody like her because she has them fooled.
Or
Right.
protect my
Kresha,
family from letting Lori out because she got information she shouldn't have shared
Now,
on
what
hearsay. Like
was
yep,
that the health information?
yeah, what the court
yep.
Yeah.
published and then recanted or whatever because they did
Mhm.
it on accident, kind of like I did the screenshot. I'm just saying.
Right.
I'm like, of all damn times, why that time? It
Right.
was an accident, total freak accident. But I can tell y'all on that issue about the
Was that the
um
phone number?
yeah,
get a damn new phone. Who cares? Get a new phone
I'm
number.
like, what
You
happened
know?
when we had phone books? Okay.
Right.
Hello, docs all the way, right? But
Right.
I guess, that's just off limits now. Anyway, it was not intentional. But I also want to mention the fact that when she struck my video, it was for about 18 minutes of content.
Mm.
And I can't do two things at once, but I was looking to see what area in the video it was, like, because I was showing her content from her channel. She did the video of the interview with my parents at their house, which was really hard to see when it came out. I was just like, oh God, here it is,
So she's
here it
saying that it
is.
was because of a phone number, but she actually
I mean,
copyright
maybe.
struck you
Did she
because,
say it?
well, that's what others are saying, that
Yeah,
she was basically saying it was the phone number being shown, but that would be a privacy strike, which basically warns you to go in and
redact
blur
it.
it out. Right.
Mhm.
So that's not why she did it. She did it because the
Exactly.
truth was being told on her.
Right,
Right.
I got about 20 emails and a whole bunch of comments of people screaming at me after I yelled at Lauren for striking her about, "It was the phone number," and I'm like, "I didn't see that phone number on that screenshot, but
I mean,
maybe
it
it's
wouldn't
there,
be
okay."
18 minutes, would it?
No,
No,
right.
and that's not even
So
it, that was just a whole 'nother round of gaslighting bullshit.
would
Yep.
y'all say Darvo, right?
Yeah,
Yes,
Yeah,
it's
yep.
Darvo. It's making
exactly.
her a victim. I'm a victim because she doxed my phone number, and it's like, well, no, that's
For
not what you
me, for
struck.
me. Yeah.
Right.
God forbid she tells her experience, or her mom or Awen, out her. She knows. I mean, she needs to know. She should know. She's the
Mhm.
only one that has known,
Right. Now,
besides, Awen come. I'm so glad Awen did, God, so relieved.
I could imagine. I could imagine. I'm really happy that you two ladies have each other because you both experienced it, and so you understand each other from a perspective that not many others will.
Well, yeah, but I feel like there's so many more out there. I know my friend Jen
Mhm.
was wronged by them too.
Yes.
She was actually hacked, and
Actually hacked. What do you mean by that?
like she was actually hacked. She was experiencing hacking. She lives in the Salt Lake City area. She's an ex-Mormon, and she's married to a lady.
Okay.
And um, she was so helpful to me, um, process things. I found her. I reached out to her. She didn't reach out. You know what I'm saying? Like, I look at things like that. Like, did this person reach out to me? Did they like target me, or anyways. So time goes on, and I go on web sleuths. Okay, this is probably about August or September of 2021. This is all happening at one time.
Right.
And or this one stretch of time. And I had just learned about, I'm gonna drop a word or a phrase on y'all that it's a Latter-day Saint term or whatever.
Mhm.
It's called the second anointing, which is a super secret, they call it sacred, but it's a super secret, um, ceremony that takes place that sounds, I'll just say this so people can draw exactly to what I mean. It goes, it speaks exactly about what Chad Daybell wrote in his disgusting whatever novel of James and Elena, Loin Fire story.
Mm.
That, so whenever he was writing about James and Elena, kneeling across from one another, being in the temple, that was a temple ceiling. They really were in the temple. The FBI, brought their receipts and proved that to be true. Um, and so I just went and found like the scriptural basis, like the scriptural support receipts, if you will, because all the things that Lori was saying to my Uncle Charles, that she was a god, that she was ordained to usher in the second coming. I mean, the gather the 144 and usher in the second coming, or whatever. I'm saying it backwards now, but I never thought I'd forget that phrase. But just the same phraseology, the same wording, the same that they're exalted after they do this ceremony, the second anointing. Um, anyways, I had to go and search all these things out. And then people started in the Mormon community and ex-Mormon community started to kind of talk about it. which is good. I always wanted everybody to talk about it, like I'm so sick of all the things just still staying hidden. Like there's so much more to reveal. It's not even funny. This is just another, it allows for an opportunity to expose, and it needs to be exposed. But also there's so much more that didn't come out by other reporters. Okay. So mm, oh, okay, I was reading. I'm sorry.
No, that's okay. So you meet your friend Jen, who's
Yeah.
former.
Yeah, she's an ex-mo. They say
Okay.
ex-mo. I'm a never mo.
Exmo. Exmo. Never mo.
Hmm.
That's actually interesting. Exmo, never
Right.
mo.
I'm like
So
a no
you
mo. Just
no
being.
mo.
I don't know. It's just when you see a whole group of people, like a whole community or a whole group of voices from that community, and they're all saying, we don't teach that. We don't, and I'm like, well, wait, it was just so many learning experiences. Oh my God.
I couldn't
Learned
even
stuff I didn't want
fathom.
to know. But yeah, so Jen, I mean, she's awesome. She was helping me when I didn't have a voice at all. Like I didn't even know what to call the things. Uh, and she did. And then, but she would also stay very procedural. She'd be like, well, the church they do things this way. And I would be
Mm,
like, I know, but just pretend like if they're doing like these secret polygamous sealings behind closed doors and their members, you know, their general membership, do you trust that this church is, actually holding up integrity and not doing things outside of the realm, outside of the process that they put onto y'all to everybody else? But I mean, are they exalted too? Is basically what I'm saying. Are
right.
they above the
Right.
law? Are we going to really trust with that? I don't trust it. So
So who do you think hacked her? The Mormons
I
or
don't know. I still don't know. It also drove a wedge between us because it's like I'm watching her, and at the same time, there were some sources that came out that said that I don't want to make the allegation. I just want to share the allegation
right.
that they had made that the John and oh my God, Lauren had diagnosed Jen as psychopath. It
Oh,
just really
okay.
played on her. It played on her. It ripped her. Like who does that? It terrorized her. It tortured her. It effed with
It
her.
still does to this day.
Still
When
does.
uh when you and Jen had the separation thing,
It
that's when
suffered.
she came to me
I'm glad.
because she was so worried about you, but she was also worried about herself. I'm like, hey, let's deal with yourself right now. Kresha is okay right now,
Mhm.
but we had FBI reports, we had all kinds of electronic data going on, and she was in a bad way. The
Yeah.
last time I talked to her was about 6 months ago when she said, I'm getting all new electronics and all new phones, so bye.
She tried so
And
many
that's it.
different things.
Yep.
Yeah. I hate the fact that she even lived in that area. I was like, you need to get the hell out of Utah first off.
Yeah.
Like, rare, get the hell out of
And
there.
I haven't heard from her since, and I don't know how to get in touch with her. And I hope she sees some of these videos and pops up and
Yeah,
calls one of us.
I think she sent a message to me, but I have not opened. I
Oh,
have
good.
not, like, I just happened to glance at it this morning, or I was looking
Right.
this morning, but I've got to go back and respond.
So for
So
those of us who are a little lost, myself here, Jen is ex-Mormon. She comes out and is helping you navigate this whole Mormon world, giving you the insiders of what it's like and everything. John and Lauren catch wind of this and they diagnose. Am I getting this right? And
well, I
and
mean,
they
She had a
She was
YouTube
also in
channel.
that screenshot.
okay.
Yeah, the L mom is what she went by,
Oh, the L mom. Okay.
and she was on Web Sleuth. She, like that's I went with her on Web Sleuth one that I didn't even get to finish telling y'all that. I'm sorry. I'm like
No,
this.
I
It
get it.
goes
So
every
much to
different
say.
avenue, man.
Right.
And there's like five strands off one topic.
Right. No, I get exactly what you're saying. Okay, so she goes on Wesley's with you all. What made them diagnose her?
I don't
And
know. That's what I'm
maybe
saying.
That's why. Did they do that like on a live stream, or did they do it privately and word got around, or how is it, or is it just
Trying to
rumored that they
remember.
did that?
I'm trying to remember. I don't want to misstate anything.
No, I get it.
You
And
know,
you got to
I
be
want
careful.
to say it was a screenshot, but I'm not sure. I'm not,
Okay.
so don't
That
Yeah,
quote
I
was
me.
think part of the issue is we're not in a position to really tell the
Right.
Elmom's
everything.
full story because
Yeah.
Yeah.
all of that was absolutely behind the scenes
Okay.
and
Yeah.
absolutely held quiet.
Big
And
time.
we probably even said more than we probably should at this point.
Okay. That I get
But
it. Like, and that's Lauren's MO, right? To get you behind
yes,
the scenes to
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 triangulate
triangulate you,
right.
to separate you from each other, and to
and
do it
to
behind the scenes.
isolate you.
Yep,
Right.
Isolate. Yep.
And both of you have felt isolated at one point or another due to Lauren's.
absolutely.
And it,
Wow, I am
yeah,
just baffled.
it isolated. I would say, I'm not speaking for Jen, but I mean, it isolated our friendship too, because how do you help somebody with a hacking problem? I felt like I shared a file with her or something, and like it's like I feel like an STD or something, you know, like,
Right.
oh no.
Like I'm causing this for
Like
you
I'm
type of thing.
responsible. Yeah.
Yeah.
I felt
But
if
that's what
she
Lauren does. She made everybody feel like that in turn. She made me feel like I was
Karen's really
bringing
good.
virus to the family. She made Kresha feel
Oh
like she was
yeah.
bringing virus to Elmom. And so that's how she triangulates and isolates you from each other because you're too afraid to hurt each other.
Yeah.
So you
Wow.
stay away. And it works. It was a very successful campaign on her part, but not anymore.
Yeah. That's
Wow. And
very
that's
good
ultimately
insight.
that's ultimately what she's afraid of coming to the forefront is the way
Yes.
that she operates. That
Oh yeah.
I noticed a lot of people who use the term mean girl are usually the ones themselves who are a mean girl, right?
Mm.
Hmm.
And it was ironic because that's what the person who's done all this to me often says that. Oh, the mean girls. And it's like, no, you are the mean girl. You're
Why
just
Right.
a
don't you just say
sullen,
zombie or something then?
right.
That's the same thing as what I'm saying. Yeah, that's it. Lauren saying stalker, my stalker, that was with intention.
Oh
That
yeah.
was intentional. And then I heard, and it worked because I heard so many other people repeating it. I couldn't go around just saying Lori and Chad were murderers. I
And
had
then
to say
get this.
allegedly.
Right.
Yeah.
And after, so I refused during the video I made, I refused to call her the stalker. I used her name. And then I had people in my comment section saying, you're saying this woman's name like you know her. And I'm like, yeah, well, you're saying Laura's name like you know her. You know,
Exactly.
like I'm not going to dehumanize this
That's
woman.
true. Yeah, they act like
Yeah,
they know her. They're lucky
right.
they don't.
And you want the entire internet to dehumanize this woman to the term the stalker when she's
Mhm.
not found to be a stalker. I mean, it was
There,
so dehumanizing,
I've
but that
seen
was part
zero
of it.
proof. Zero
Right.
proof. There's proof that there was evidence that there is no evidence. Okay.
Exactly that right there. There's evidence that there's no evidence, and that Lauren and Grayson were looking to create evidence, which she
What
said as much.
and was this to create a diversion because of what Lauren's bad behavior that she's admitted to during and sprinkled through all these her 9 hour expose or whatever of
Oh
herself,
yeah.
and then her and John doubling down, and then she admits to doing these things, and that's when I caught on when I watched it again through a creator who knew nobody. She knew nobody
Ooh.
in the situation, and I was like, all right, good. And I mean, I do have a critical mind, but I was also responding and I was present for Lauren's 9 hour thing. Well, I was only there for 8, if I'm being honest.
Yeah.
And then,
Get that 1 hour.
yeah, whole work day. And then, uh, oh, because of, she was naming, and I mean, I was trying to figure out who she was talking about. I didn't even know who
Oh,
Christine
absolutely.
was. I was like, what? And I knew Janice though. And I mean, I've never met her. I mean, she's been at a lot of the hearings and a lot of the things to do with the kids and the court case and all that stuff. And
Right.
she was another family member's moderator, you know. So I was attaching, you know, because she mentioned Janice a couple times. And I'm thinking, oh my God, the 7 gatherers. Oh my God. And then the way she made it look about Janice approaching her, she just
Uh-huh.
made them like she just didn't do it in a good light. She made me think about Christina as I say she made me, but the way she presented it made me think about the you know, Christina as being like trial trash, basically.
Right.
like no business to be there, but Lauren has the authority to be there because, she's working. But then finding out that Christina also she's on a TV show called Trial Watchers. She also has business to be there on top of the right she already has to be there because she's the public, like
Right. Well, and
she
that's
just didn't understand
typical.
it that way. Mm.
That's typical of of somebody like Lauren, like a narcissistic like behavior of like, hey, I'm entitled to be here, but you're beneath me.
Right. Did y'all think it was weird during the 9 hour how she kept saying, I'm not going to say my stalker's name, my stalker, my stalker. I'm not
Yeah.
going to say her name. She did drop her name twice,
Yeah.
Oh,
but
did she? I didn't catch
by
on that.
Yes, she did.
accident. And she
Mm,
I
even said,
just
oh, I
think
got to edit that out. And she never
yeah.
edited that out. But
she knew what
she's
she was
naming
doing.
all of these other people.
Right.
I'm like,
Yeah.
girl, what are
And
you
she acts like there are
doing?
three entities in one,
Yep.
interchangeable or something. I'm like, what are you doing?
Wow.
Just and then she framed it just weird. It was each one of
Well,
them, and I'm just like, this is weird, but I really think she was trying to, would y'all say, gather the evidence or create the evidence or something?
create the evidence. That's what she
Create.
said.
Yep.
Create the evidence. She literally said that. And I said that was the
Yeah,
only truthful statement she made throughout. So what
true.
I noticed what she was doing is like, oh, I'm taking the higher ground because I won't name them. And maybe she did that to protect herself from, some type of
Uh,
litigation, or maybe it was to try to pretend to be
she's
the
the
better than.
savior.
Right,
She's
the
a savior. This
savior.
is another alarming thing that I see also with other people around Chad and Lori and Chad and Lori. This God complex. I mean, I made a
Uh-huh.
whole intro song about it.
Like the whole world's there. I even in the body cam footage, where Lauren and Grayson
Mhm.
meet with the police to say that
Yeah.
she's been served or whatever. Even in that, the way that Grayson speaks for Lauren is like it's odd. It is so bizarre the way she has positioned herself to be in such a place of better than
Authority.
that she can't even speak for herself. Like, oh no, my producer will speak for me. That's my
Mhm.
producer's
A
phone
buffer.
number.
A
Right.
protector, if you will. She's maybe Alex to Lori, or how
Yes.
Lori projected even on her own children. And you'll see this also in Lauren, her 9 hour thing where she was protecting her son's mental health by exposing it herself.
Oh, yeah.
She's like, FLNC on crime. If anybody's going to expose everybody, it's going to be me. I'm going to make money off of it. Like that's the feeling I got.
Me too. And then I love the part where she puts up Long Crime's request to stream it. And within it, it literally states, yes, but you have to abide by these rules. And one of the rules was
Mhm.
no filming a minor
That's
and no personal
protocol.
information. Right.
Yeah.
And she knows
She should
that.
know.
That's what I kept
Exactly.
saying. She knows the courtroom rules. She knew that her son's mental health would never ever make it onto the internet, but she brought it here herself. Because
Yep.
it adds to that pull on the heart factor, right? Like, "Oh,
Exactly. Pity
poor
me, poor me.
mhm,
I'm a
poor me,
victim.
poor
Yep.
children, and my poor child," I mean, it's a classic move by people like her.
Yeah.
Um, one thing that you mentioned that was very interesting to me is that in the chat, you mentioned you see a lot of comparisons, and you just said it right now as well, that there is this, cult-like behavior that you see from Lauren herself.
Yep.
Did you
I mean,
experience that even in private communications? Like, she's kinda like the leader and everybody kinda, "Oh, Lauren
mm,
entered the room."
I didn't really communicate with her. I mean,
Okay.
very minimal. I think I actually got her phone number. I mean, I was being a little shit, if I'm being honest. I'm just telling, I'll tell her myself. I'm honest. I'll tell you if I messed up. I
Oh,
don't
I
think
don't
I
blame
messed
you.
up, but it was just, I don't know. It was one of those things. And we were in Boise. Okay. And it was during Lori's trial. And I was staying at one of my mods. She's my mod and my friend. Okay. Through this, um, somebody who had supported, me and us through from the beginning. And so I ended up staying with her because I was up there alone. Again, I'm not at my parents' ass, because I mean, again, it caused a rift. And so I just feel like I'm just staying to myself. That's really what I did. Just kind of create boundaries like I don't know. It was just weird. It's such a weird, I don't even know how to process it yet, but um so I had it and then I lost it. It was about Lauren. Oh, communication with her. So
Yeah.
I look, I was being a smartass. It was my birthday, and we were up there for the trial. And that weekend, my mom, they, the producers, or what are they called? The camera crew, the documentary crew, they were there too. And so they got like this little house for the weekend, like a B&B, I guess, Airbnb. And so I drove up there, and so everybody was there. And I say everybody, meaning the camera crew, my mom and dad, and Lauren, her best friend that is even mentioned in this, declaration stuff with all the credentials that put on the memorial for the kids, that kind of stuff. She was there, and so was Lauren's child.
Oh,
And
interesting.
so, oh my god. So we, mom made a big gumbo, and I mean, just home cooked mom's food. It's like, oh, I needed it. And so that, as we were sitting at the table, I took a picture of Lauren, who was eating my mom's potato salad. And if anybody was around at this time, or, back in the day, when there was this one time when Lauren, I don't know if Lori Hellis was live, or I think it was Lori Hellis was on with her, and Summer Shiflett showed up in the chat. And so it was me, mom, and Summer Shiflett. It's on Reddit if y'all ever want to go. I don't know. It's been a long time. And so Summer made a comment to my mom about hearing about her potato salad, but she had heard it was good, but never tried it, and always wanted to try it. Anyway, so it was a funny picture, like, haha, take a picture of Lauren eating mom's potato salad.
Right.
So I never published it. I never shared it with her. I mean, I did recently, but anyways, that's just one time, but we were sitting at the table, and I was like, oh my God. And I really kind of was wondering what it would be like to have Botox or just whatever. Cause I mean, God, I looked in the mirror and I'm like, girl, you're neglecting your face. Holy shit.
Couldn't even tell if she liked the potato salad or not, right?
Oh
There's
no,
facial
not me. Like,
expression.
oh yeah. We're being, everybody has a scenario
Oh.
playing out in their head as we speak.
Oh.
But, and so, I mean, I was like, anybody know where to get Botox? And so she was like, oh, here, got to be first. You heard it here first,
Right.
And
Oh,
so I was like, oh, Lord.
tell them I sent you.
Yeah, here, you get 15% or more discount.
She would not. I'm sorry, and I mean this as respectfully as I can
don't.
say it, but she is not good advertisement. I would not be calling that person. No, ma'am.
I love the McArches, man.
Gorgeous. That
Oh
was
my God.
hysterical.
I mean,
But-
come on. I needed it. It was cathartic, okay, for Turtle Boy. So anybody, yeah, I'm laughing because it's cathartic. It feels so relieving.
Right. I mean,
because my
sometimes
son, he's 9, he said something. I didn't say anything.
they pick up on it, right? I
He
mean,
calls her
everybody
plastic
sees
surgery
it.
girl. That's what he calls her.
It's the truth, though, and sometimes you just need a safe place to be toxic. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, just give me somewhere where I can just let all of my
It's
toxic,
open.
like, yeah, and
It's in the open. It's nobody's trying to hide it. It's like, if you're a shitty person, then that's what the hell you get.
right. I mean, the fact that she was
touches the inside,
during 9 hours trying to cry, and she couldn't get one tear to come out of. It was just, her. It was
production.
so
Production.
right. It was production. Is exactly right. Now, Awen. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, me too.
No, I was going to say, Awen, her lawyer friend. Let's talk about Lauren
Right.
and the lawyer friend.
You had asked about if either of us had seen examples of Lauren exerting control in her social settings.
Mhm.
And I certainly did with her lawyer friend, right? Because
Mhm.
I'm just going to use her first name, Lori, okay? Because I can't keep saying lawyer friend all day.
Now they're not
but
friends anymore. Are you
They're
aware of
not
that?
anymore. They're not.
No.
At
Mm-mm.
first, Lori
She's
and
been
I
a
were
big
friends.
critic.
And I
Okay.
was very supportive of her. I platformed her. I was promoting her book
Mhm.
and her newsletter and all this stuff. And we had a great working relationship. It was great. Very symbiotic. I needed the legal brain that she had, and she needed my platform.
Right.
So we were really bouncing off each other, and it was going very well until Lauren snagged her away. And what I saw, the change that I saw in Lori from when she was with me to all of a sudden being over here with fancy pants princess, she
Mm.
changed. She started wearing makeup. She got her hair done. She started changing her background. And all of a sudden, I'm like, are you
Keeping up
trying
with
to
the
morph
Joneses.
yourself into looking like Lauren?
Mm.
Or at least elevating more to Lauren's energy than her own energy.
Mm.
And that's why a lot of people, and I got beef with Lori Ellis, but I really think 90% of that came from Lauren.
I do wonder, in Lori's defense, if it's kind of like keeping up with the Joneses, right? Like you're going
Yes.
on this channel that has a lot of eyes and views on you, so you want to, kind of present yourself in a similar format to that person.
Yep.
But yeah,
And a
she's
lot
been
of
one of the biggest critics of Lauren throughout all of this.
Yep. She is right now.
who
That's interesting. I'm sorry to hear that you guys have some type of,
it's like, and some people started to make it, oh, well, Lori Hillis is producing receipts, which she did. I appreciate them. That would have helped a long time ago too.
Yeah.
But I
oh,
was
I
already I'd already felt exploited by her a long time ago too. Around it was all, it's like one thing set off another thing, set off another thing. It was like a chain of events that just that just were happening, and it was so crazy because it was like that thing with Awen.
right.
Okay, then this is how I see it, or how I experience it. Just kind of where you see Lauren and Hellas demonizing and throwing Awen under the bus and acting like they were peachy clean, squeaky
Mm.
clean, nothing to see here, and then Hellas started to go after Judge Boyce, showing up for court hearings,
Mm.
everything, challenging him with the whole all the ceilings and stuff that were going on. And I'm down for that. I'm down to have transparency, but I can't be behind somebody who's doing it and maybe using my parents as
A token.
yeah.
Yeah.
And so they actually even went to that hearing to make sure
Mm.
that their names weren't being dropped.
So that
And so then Lauren started to unbuckle her wagon from Lori Hillis, and that's how I experienced it.
see, some people say that Lauren did that because Lori started getting too much praise.
I don't think so. I think there
No.
was other things going on that she was just like trying to keep her pretty girl, pretty good Mormon image.
Oh, that's interesting. Now, one thing you said that stood out to me is, it's great she's speaking up now, but this would have been useful, a while back. I so
Yeah,
relate to that. And it seems like Lori didn't speak up until Lori experienced the mean side of Lauren,
yeah.
which was
There
giving
you
out her
go.
book.
Yeah,
That's
that's a good
usually how
point.
it goes. Yeah.
Good point. I mean, maybe she's been sitting on it too, but it's like also a lot of people were like um, questioning what Lori's motives were, and I think she just was. I mean, I kind of think that she's like, oh, well, screw it. If you're going to bring me down, if I'm going down, you're going down too, basically
Yes.
kind of like a revenge.
Like, I'll drag you down with me type of thing.
Right. Yeah. Because
Mm.
she knows, they know what
There's
they
enough
wrong.
between them that they have mutually assured destruction.
Yeah. There you go.
Oh, so
Absolutely.
you're saying in your experience, Lori participated just as much of the fuck shit as
Oh,
Lauren,
yeah.
to
Oh,
keep
Yeah.
yeah.
it quite frank. Okay, that's
Absolutely. I
Yeah.
think
interesting.
Lori was the front man
Lori
for
contacted me.
Lauren's bullshit.
Oh,
Lauren always has a front man. Lauren doesn't
Oh,
do the
yeah.
dirty work
So does the
herself.
church.
right, and that right. So does the church, and that's what Grayson is right now. She's the
Yes.
frontman.
Front man.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Yep.
And when I first came back and I watched the 9 hour live, and I'm like, well, what's Hellas up to? So I go to her channel and she's got a thing all about Lauren. I'm like, they're eating each other's faces. I just get to watch. This is great.
And
you
it is
know?
great when that day comes. I have
Yep.
experienced that myself, and it is a fantastic, let me grab my popcorn. All of it sounds very familiar nonsense. We've experienced all of this, literally all of it. Yeah.
Wow.
And it's a shame when you lose somebody to somebody like Lauren, and then you see that fallout, and it's like, well, could have warned you.
Yep.
Mm.
It sucked. That's what I was trying to do with my parents. But then I got to a point where I was like, it's just, it sucks to not be believed, or, you know, heeded, didn't heed
Heed
my
the
advice,
warning.
didn't trust me enough to. And I mean, I understand that now. I understand that more now than I did then. I understand that it's not just that easy. It's also not
Right.
the same experience that I had. I had a hard time talking at that time. I still have a hard time talking. Like my sentences are like I just can't put thoughts and words together and make them
Right.
flow. I have my good days, every now and then.
Well, and there's layers to it too, because you do get to
So
a
many
point where you feel like, okay, so my experience didn't
is
matter, right? Like,
yeah, it didn't happen.
right, and there's a level of infuriation that comes when you hear somebody else speaking about their experience and they're getting all
Mhm.
this like woe is them, like, oh, I'm so sorry you experienced this, and it's like, well, isn't it ironic that
Yeah,
my experience didn't matter to you, but here you are soaking in the pity of your own. It's kind of
Right.
like it's a
and
little aggravating.
the whole, I was there. She pinned a couple of my comments, or Grayson did during the 9 hour live.
Oh, really?
Because it was also woven. It was woven in with what I experienced from Janice. Where she dressed up as my aunt
Okay.
Marie Vallo, and she dressed up in an orange jumpsuit and took
Hmm.
pictures, went and stood in front of Madison County Jail, and she really does resemble her. Okay. And I laughed because this is the sense of humor I keep, with all
Right.
this crap. It's dark, it is bad, it's painful. So it cracked me up. So Janice had uploaded this to social media, one of the Facebook groups. So I downloaded it and then I incorporated it into a video. I didn't know how to do thumbnails at the time. I mean, like, this has all been a learning experience.
Yeah.
And this was a Halloween of 2020. So I'm
Even
talking
newer
five
than, yeah.
years, 5 years ago, 4 years ago, however many years ago.
Right.
And this was right after the kids were found. We had 2 hurricanes that year that were Cat 5s. I mean, ripped right through Lake Charles, I mean, it was bizarre. We had the Rona, we had all those things too,
Right.
plus the indictment, or well, Chad. Okay, that's when the preliminary hearing happened. I was getting that confused with 2021. So I'm sorry.
That's
But
okay.
yeah, so
There's a
all
lot
these
going
things were
on.
happening. I call it the Trauma Tour 2020 because that's what it was.
Mm.
And
So you
okay,
saw the video of her in the Halloween costume you made.
I saw the
But going back to
pictures.
her pinning your comments, do you think she was doing that to validate herself? Like, look. Like,
Family member, yes, 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 yes. That's
yeah, because
had
I
one.
don't recall many comments being
Nancy
pinned.
Joe was another one. And Monkey, the little boy that's missing, his mom, Brandy,
Brandy
she was
Vaughn.
in there. She pinned that one.
Yeah,
Um,
so she was just soaking in on all the
Clout
and a lot of
chasing.
right, and well, and a lot of these tragedy vultures do that, right? They use the actual victim and
so
or
do,
their story to
yep.
bring in people who already have their hearts open because
Amen.
they're into this tragic story and they want answers and they're deep dived and all these things, and then they throw in their own victimhood.
And then
And
they're
these
like, "Thank you for the super chats."
Yes, 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 yes. There's this one girl that does it all the time. She'll start off with the child victim as the title and the thumbnail, but she'll spend majority of the time talking about her self-inflicted fake drama that
People are
she
doing
calls
that with
trauma.
this. People are doing
Oh,
that with this. I've noticed.
I'm a little guilty of doing that, to be honest, because I kind of use
I
this
get
to
it.
highlight the fact of frivolous litigation. Um,
Yes, I
because
didn't.
it
I'm
is so
learning.
important, and it
I'm
did bring a
learning.
big spotlight because, somebody tried to not 10 people try to silence my freedom of speech, and I see that here, and I didn't gain as much traction by it. Obviously, I don't have Lauren level attention on me, but it is such a crucial thing because it doesn't just impact Christina or me or my co-defendant. It impacts all of you. It impacts all of us. If the courts open up to silencing people in this way because you hurt somebody's feelings on the internet, it can happen to your channel, your channel. Now, chatters are held accountable for their words. It's just such a slippery slope to open up.
Yeah,
Hmm.
but it also it details and shows Lauren using law
Right.
to
It's
silence
lawfare. It's
critics.
lawfare.
It
Right.
is. She used copyright law for me. She allegedly used copyright, or not copyright, but the legal system for Christina. Maybe
Yep.
allegedly. Don't know.
She tried
Um,
to. It wasn't going in
yeah,
her
it
favor,
appears
so
to
she
be,
dropped it. Yeah.
and I've learned that people are exhibiting behaviors. You look at their past behaviors. It's a indicator for future things.
Yeah.
So There's
Well,
so many alike things with Lori and the whole. That's what I do. I study these people. I've looked at them for almost 7 years now, and I'm just
mm,
that's what you do. That's what I did. Was you quote unquote size up your enemy? And I mean, I don't look at them as enemies. Neither do I look at Lauren as enemies. Don't be trying to come at me like that.
right. I get what
But
you're
it's
saying, though.
just I study. I pay attention, I'm observant. I don't know. That's kind of my thing.
Do you think that's what drew Lauren to the case in such a format because she is similar?
Well, I have a new theory on that because of all the what it's kind of revealed to me.
Uh huh.
And I mean, I've been observing other things. Like I've been following the Charlie Kirk situation.
Yeah, she used
Did
that one
he,
too.
kind of look into these other things? Because I was also wanting to build. Oh, I never did tell Awen that, but I don't know if she can help me. If you want to help me one day, do this. I was wanting to do a Rico, um, for Lori and the organizations, all those people, the seven gatherers, all those clowns that didn't get held accountable,
Mm-hmm.
to just kind of create a federal, not a federal,
Yes.
a lawsuit, a civil lawsuit, because that's where I found you have to like hit them is in the pocket. That's when they
Yep.
respond.
It would be federal. It would have to be federal unless they're all located in the same state.
No,
Yeah,
multiple states.
Yeah,
it's
so
federal
it'd be
because of
federal.
the yeah. I mean,
So
anyways,
you
that's
you
something I was
believe that
on.
you believe that they're actually operating like a RICO?
Oh, we
I
know they are.
don't know. Well, oh
Oh,
yeah. To
Allegedly. Mm.
yeah, allegedly.
well, so like, what was
It's
I
a
saying?
hard burden to prove. 90% of civil RICOs don't make it
I
through.
know.
I just want to expose. That's my promise to my murdered family members. It was just
Mm,
to expose. Well, at first I was like, hold everybody accountable with, with my family's blood on their hands. Okay. Cause there's a lot of people that just kept on going and
They
are
just snuck
around
right
kids.
under the
And
radar.
I mean, it just is
oh,
gross, y'all. That freaking bothers me. It should
And
bother
that's
all of
what
us.
drew Kresha and I together
Yeah.
at the beginning, is we started talking about all of these other players. And I'm like, why aren't they being arrested? I don't know. What do we do? And we just started digging and digging and digging. And it's like, oh, there's something here. There's something here that
oh,
has
you
to
know
be
what?
addressed.
For a moment here, I thought you were speaking about Lauren and them, and I'm sitting
Oh,
here
no,
like,
no, no, no.
I'm so all right. I'm all aboard, ladies. I can give you all my experience I have on Rico. At first, I'm thinking you're talking about like the content creators, and I'm like,
No,
my
no.
apologies. Woo, what a relief to hear
I'm sorry, we
realize
weren't clear about
otherwise.
that.
That's okay. All right, I get it now.
We'll be covering them in a minute. Yeah.
It was actually Cash's comment that made me get it because I'm like, oh, duh. I get
Oh,
it now. I'm
I'm
sorry.
so
Yes,
sorry.
I agree.
I'm not really
Okay.
good at explaining things either. So,
Granny heard Rico and went,
and that's what
Yeah, I'm like, I don't know, guys. Listen, the chat was with me. A lot of people felt the same way. I'm glad that was clarified. Okay.
oh shit,
That
they
makes much
was
more
doing the
sense.
thumbnails and everything. Hey, good.
Oh
Hold
my
me
goodness.
accountable, y'all. Always hold me accountable, and I will do the same because
I'm
I
like,
think that should never go away. We have to hold one another accountable. You know,
that's the truth. Hey, Becky.
hey, next live will be, is Kresha green team?
Yeah. Join in the Rico.
Masha. Right, man. No, I'm talking about the people that were casting and praying and and I mean, this is captured on actual evidence in the form of text messages that are in an actual.
Right.
I'm kind of, slanging it, Lauren, right now. But anyways, of these women who were, I mean, they're grown adults. Some of them are grandmothers, right? Just
Mhm.
saying. And they're doing this kind of stuff and thinking that obviously they're seeing that there's no, what do you call that?
Repercussions.
Repercussions. Yeah.
Yep.
There's none of that happened besides they had to get a little embarrassed. I'm like, shit. I'm just, bring them to the public square.
Right. No, I get it. I definitely get it. I understand exactly why you want that too.
I have very little compassion for them. I just don't. I've tried. but
I
they
can't
had
blame
none
you.
for my family. None.
Right.
Zero. And that's children. Like, how do you get there? And I don't ever want to get there. Oh, that's just devastating. I mean, what if it was their family? What if it was their children or grandchildren or just them? What if it was them?
Right.
And everybody's just like, oh, you're persecuting. You know, they just get so offended. And I'm like, what? If you're going to put yourself in that role, then, like when I talk about these things, people are like, oh my God, I can't believe you're trying to take down the church. And I'm like, will you get over yourself, please? Whenever a
Right.
church becomes more important than human life, especially that of children and children that belong to your flock, go.
Well, and how dare them say anything? They didn't experience what you've experienced. So I
Mm-mm.
say F everything they have to
That's
say,
what
and you
yeah,
follow your heart.
that's where I'm at. And so I usually don't get a large volume of people who, and I mean, I had to kind of draw a line and, you know, and say, hey, I'm sitting here being too nice and trying to be, and I do try to be respectful of other people's beliefs, but they're just beliefs. They're not actual human breathing, human, you know,
Right.
like some people aren't religious at all. And I mean, think about that, you know, just be a good moral person. That's all. That's it.
I agree. Seabird here has a good question. They say, I don't understand this competition and rift between every one of these podcasters. Can you all work together and support one another? In
That's
the
the point.
lovely world, that would be great, but it's impossible.
Especially when you have people like that doing stuff behind the scenes, triangulating people.
Right. And people trying to purposely silence critics and,
Hmm. Yeah.
take away constitutional rights. And it's
That's
just, it would be a lovely world, but it's not a realistic one.
it's a good
Um,
question for Lauren.
that's true, right? Is there a reason Lauren can't? Now,
Right.
have you heard the rumor about somebody putting the money on Lori's books?
Um, yeah, actually, I want to say I've retweeted a post or whatever on X the other night, right
Mhm.
before I did the Sunday live, the one that got taken down eventually.
Right.
Um, and I mean, like Trisha from Web Sleuths contacted me via text and was like shaming me and, you know, like telling me I don't need to be spreading misinformation. I'm like, what are you talking about?
I
I
am
usually
so
don't even
tired of
entertain
her.
it. I usually don't even talk back. I usually don't feed any narcissism or that
Yeah.
egotistical shit. I don't do
My
drama.
experience with her is she says she's one
Well,
of those people that want to feed what the crowd wants, right? And she I have no respect left for her. She was
right,
one
I
of the
don't either.
people that were big, and she triangulated the parents of a missing child live on a stream for all to see. It was
Wow.
just unbelievable to me that people didn't pick up on that.
Wow, wow, wow.
Yep, and it was just, yeah, I'm not very fond of her at all. But anyway,
And I
so
mean,
you
even me, like she would, I mean, and I don't sit here and I don't care. You know, like it doesn't bother me. I'm just saying it because it just kind of was like, okay, you know, just one of those things that I noticed and I'm just like, that's interesting. But
well, your experience isn't
she would dote
misinformation.
over, huh?
I said your experience is not misinformation. I mean, how dare she?
Right. I mean, well, it was some post that somebody made and it was of Annie Elise, you know, talking about
Oh,
one of her whatever, the producers or whatever.
yeah.
I didn't even go that far into it. You know what I'm saying? Like I didn't give it, I was just like, whatever, okay. That's it. And so that's what she was talking about. And I needed to go take it down. I was like, go leave my fucking family the fuck alone, is what I
Right.
told her.
A- And
Don't contact us no more. And I'm glad
unbelievable
I
that she
never.
would who do these people think they are that they can come to you rather
They're
than text or
reporters.
email and
They're
reprimand
reporters.
you?
They all
Right.
think they're reporters. And I mean, I experienced this with Joe myself, Joe Schmo, where he was starting to think of himself or liken himself to media, to reporters. And I was like, I don't
Mm.
think that's not how this works.
Yeah, you don't just get to print out a pass and laminate it and call yourself
Right. You
a,
don't get to print it up on your 3D printer like that.
right.
Probably where the YouTube thing will come from. That's what I said.
How did you feel about Joe Schmo making that grand appearance where he's like, "Oh yeah, well, we actually kind
That
of went to where they
made my
were," and
stomach flip. I
I
was like,
imagine.
dude, that's so gross. Like it's so cringe.
Yeah.
And I'm so glad that I don't know, just something in my gut. Like I don't know what it was. It was I'm a little embarrassed to say what it is actually. I've been studying like the Masonic signs and symbols that these cults operate under, with how they communicate, da da da, and how, you
Oh,
know, you don't know it, you don't see it as in plain sight, but that's because we're not trained to, you know, we're not ever alerted about it. You know, there's no
right.
presser about it saying, hey, by the way, look for
Things to
this.
look
So
out
now that
for.
I've kind of been learning about this kind of communication between these groups, because like Chad being in prison, you know, printing his prison letters or putting them online,
Mhm.
there's some communication going on. You know, his books, those books, that's what they're doing. But that's neither here nor there. But so I had learned a couple things, and Joe threw one. He threw a symbol while I was live with him. And I immediately like muted myself, went and screen recorded it real quick because I was just like, oh man. You know, so I just kind of put a pin in it.
Right.
And then I don't know what came up, but we weren't able to make to do our collab or whatever the next week. And then I kind of, I don't know, I just kind of shied away. And then that's when all this shit happened. And I was like, oh Lord, thank you, Jesus. You know, like I
Messy,
don't want
messy.
nothing to do with this stuff. But
Mm.
then it's even got me going back, like looking yesterday, back at the footage from Lauren at Lori's sentencing,
Yeah.
and then knowing what I experienced and how it looks a little strange. You know, what was the point of the hot mic? Was it set there to, you know, collect evidence, to make evidence,
Right.
whatever,
What was
gather
the point
evidence?
of it? Mm. Good question.
Because I remember hearing that, you know, Web Sleuth said that it's a hot mic, and I'm like, well, why would Web Sleuth say that? It's just a little odd to me, and I'm a little,
Wary of all their actions. I get
yeah.
it.
I don't trust nobody. I swear. I mean, I try to. You know what I mean?
No,
I'm
I
the
get
same.
it.
I'm the
Yeah.
same at right now as I am behind the scenes. You know,
Right.
I'd probably be a little more dorkier, you know, and cut up a little more, but I'm the same. I don't have to sleep with one eye open and be paranoid like Lauren was on that live, where she's like, "I'm a good girl, I promise,"
Hmm.
you know, like, and like she did. Like, this is my thing that the other family member mentioned. I did watch one of her live stream, not live streams, her coverage of why she thinks that Lauren's right. Okay, and only because she's the only one out of basically the Mormon ex-Mormon community. I mean, not the only one. So don't. I just,
Right.
she
One
was
of the
one that
loud
I could
ones.
just go to, that was a family member, but on Lori's side, you know, that was at least getting it as far as the church stuff goes, you know. And she
Uh-huh.
says it so much more eloquent than I do, you know. Um, but I heard her say that, you know, Lauren apologized even, and I'm like, she didn't though. Like, so I'm trying to figure out how to approach her. Maybe,
Apologize where and to who?
well, she said, Lauren said something along the lines of, I would apologize if
If
I
I
did
knew what I
something
did wrong.
wrong. And I
Right.
think that maybe she might have, people are hearing it as she did apologize.
No. Mm-mm.
I've been looking into all this kind of backwards talk. This, I call it inverted talk, and it's an actual thing. I mean, Aleister Crowley.
Right. You don't go all these months arguing with all these women and not knowing what you've done wrong. That it just doesn't
Mhm.
happen. The
Mhm.
problem is she didn't want anybody in the audience to know what she's done wrong. And the internet did what the internet did, which is research everything and found out exactly what Lauren did wrong.
Yeah.
She
And
went
then
about
I
this.
was trying to share what was wrong, and then look what happened. And then Christina, you know, she's trying to share what's wrong. She's not listening.
Right.
It's everybody else's fault. And
So
this is so Lori. Lori also expected her kids, her daughter, her son, to protect her. Do you see what I'm saying here? Like,
right.
the
Shield
parallels
behind
are
the children.
strong.
Yeah. Well, and I know exactly excuse me, I'm losing my voice here. I know
Mhm.
exactly what you mean by the people like Lauren, because the person in my experience does the same thing. It's never their fault. And it doesn't matter if you come to them to have a conversation with them, which
Mhm.
they'll tell the internet is what they were looking for. And oh, if they just come to me and tell me what's wrong. And then you find out, oh, they did come to you and you didn't acknowledge what was wrong because you're
Mm.
never wrong.
Wow.
That's been my experience with this
That's a
person too. Is
mind F.
yeah. It is so there's so many
Toxic.
similarities here. The
Oh,
only difference is the level of professionalism. One's
that's
all the
been,
way at the bottom of the
yes.
barrel, and Lauren's higher up, and
And
that's
then
what the big difference is.
oh my God, like, yeah, Dr. John was like comparing themselves to freaking, I was like, y'all are not celebrities, you're not Brad
Oh, I
Pitt. And I
know.
mean, they
Slow it
scheduled that
down.
over my Friday Night Live,
I
by
heard
the
about
way,
that.
too.
I heard that it was and that you don't stream very often. Now, the irony in them comparing themselves to celebrities is that 4 or 5 years ago, prior to your family's tragedy, nobody
Mhm.
would have known who the fuck Lauren was, right? So to
Amen.
sit
That's what
there
I'm
and
saying.
yeah, but in her mind, she is a celebrity. Look at the interaction again in the
And
body cam footage where she can't even speak for herself.
oh my
Uh,
God, that's a good point.
yeah. The whole
That's a good
video,
point.
it is Grayson speaking for her because Lauren's just so, and then, thank you, officers or detectives. You can't tell the difference between a
And then,
fucking
oh, and
detective.
she name
I'm
drops
sorry
right
for my
there because
language,
she's
but
like, oh, I'm just, hey, her Lieutenant Hermosillo, that's what that also happens in the cult, the
where
what
they
am I saying?
pretend to
With
care.
Lori and them, they
Mhm.
all did. We called it, or they call it, calling dropping Bishop,
Oh,
to give them credibility. That's a
like,
big thing. That's a
is this
big
some type
thing
of
in that. Mhm.
flattery or I don't get it.
It gives it like, kind of like how when the patriarch speaks, and I mean, they have the authority, they have the Holy Spirit, blah 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 blah
Oh,
blah.
okay. Like acknowledging
Just like
authority
the
pretty
near death
much.
experiences, they use that to shut people down because they saw Jesus and you didn't. So it
Right.
gives them like
Okay.
this moral superiority over you to
Mm.
f with you.
I
To
do wonder if Lauren has kind of seen Jesus, not the actual Jesus,
oh
but
no,
I wonder if her eyes have opened at all to the fact that the internet has pretty much exposed her entirely.
she exposed herself.
Yeah,
I'm
absolutely.
holding that her accountable for that. She did that. We
Here
didn't do
comes Becky.
anything. She did it. We're just holding the mirror up. That's all we're doing.
Yeah,
She also deleted.
we dove into the parts that she didn't want to show.
The hidden parts.
Yeah.
I think there's more to come. I
Oh yeah.
saying this in general. I think this. Well, Kresha said it yesterday too. I think she opened Pandora's box here unintentionally. But then sometimes I question, was some of this intentional? But there is a lot.
Yep.
Really?
There is
Let's
so
talk
much
about
here.
controlled opposition.
Oh yeah, yep. And
I'm so glad you jumped on. I was like, oh my God, yes. So I'm not. It's not out of the realm, and it's actually quite possible.
oh, there. I found some more things too. But
You did. Oh
yeah,
my God. I wanted.
for
I'm
the Mike
ready.
King, FLDS. He was a cop in Colorado City. I've got Lauren confirming that she was the reporter when he was the police officer. Yeah, yeah,
Who?
Ooh.
of profiling evil.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I've backed away from that one a long time ago
Mhm,
because of the apologetics. Goes up on shows and also Web Sleuths platforms them.
mhm.
And sometimes, these things kind of happen because of narrative control. The church is not dumb. They have
Oh,
a lot of wealth. They have a lot of stock owned in this platform right here, and the Google one, and the iPhone, and the IBM, and the Microsoft, and the Apple. I mean, just all the things, right? And also, I think it's interesting that they own beneficial life or whatever for life insurance policies. I'm like, well, that's not curious at all.
T.
Um,
Adams, I was just thinking I don't have enough tinfoil for this
it's
conversation.
not tenfold. It all tracks. I
it's
have
not. Yeah,
receipts.
I know. Becky Becky
Yeah,
does the same thing. I totally get it.
it
I,
connects to every damn thing.
poor Jess has to hear
I'm
me.
just being silly about it because I always mess with them and I'm like, oh, get the tinfoils out because they
She
just
gets
go
to
to a
hear
deeper
me.
place than I do. I'm very surface level.
Hey, T.
Oh, you're
Adams.
not.
Hey, I mean, that's what we got to do to educate one another. Everybody. How many people in this arena have said follow the money? How
Well,
Oh
many
well,
of you
yeah.
heard it?
That's
So
what I said at the end of my video. Who profits from this narrative being put out there? And it
okay,
was Lauren in the beginning to profit.
yeah.
Welcome,
So
Kristen.
follow
Thank you.
that train of thought. And
further.
then
Yeah.
whenever I do spill it, people are like, "Oh no, oh no," they don't like it because it's going to squash your worldview, and people that they worship or idolize or think could do no wrong, you know.
Can
It's
I
going to be
can I
interesting.
say something about that right there?
Mhm.
That part
Please.
right there, the idolizing. I
Yep.
found it so disheartening yesterday in your live. Of course, there was people that were going to come in and troll. I mean, that's going to happen.
Well,
And there's
y'all
some.
did a great job.
Oh, I was so angry though because they sit there and idolize Lauren
Hmm.
for what? Because of coverage and stories she has told on your family and other families.
Yeah, because she's
Right.
white and lights. I don't know.
Right. Yeah. They idolize her, but then they try to silence go along with the whole narrative. Well, you're just jealous. Excuse
Oh
me,
yeah,
ma'am? Jealous
totally.
of what?
What, the dead people? Like,
Yeah,
what
Right.
am I fucking jealous of? Like, that makes no logical sense in my mind. Like,
I mean,
maybe
yeah,
that's what they're here for. I don't know. I don't have an option, you know?
right, right.
Everybody else has an option.
You didn't get to choose this, and
No.
for them to even try to discredit or silence you,
Like
or
I'm a competitor or just some mean girl.
exactly, you are
Yeah. Mm-mm.
family. Like, and the well, I believe Lauren. Go believe her then. I don't know what you're
Yeah.
believing.
Why are you here?
Lies. Like this is one of the family members, but it just sets people apart majorly who are there for the victims
She's
and
okay.
who actually understand that versus who form these parasocial relationships with creators, like the one that's gone after Granny for over a year now. You can
I'm
follow
sorry,
it.
Granny.
I have documented it. Oh, Kresha, by the way, you're supposed to make sure you know who I am and look into me. I do everything
Oh,
out front.
damn.
Like Kresha's been around forever. It's okay. But I was laughing so hard because I'm like, yeah, she knows how my nutty brain works. But Jess has been through this, and you can walk it back and watch these people use a playbook of sorts of
Yep.
how they divide and conquer. And then when Jess wouldn't,
Triangulate.
she wasn't even sent to C&D, but then she gets thrown in this lawsuit so they can cause more interference in these cases. And it's just a playbook for more
Mhm.
content, clicks, and views. It's really disheartening. They don't
I
give a
mean,
shit about the
and
family.
you know about Utah being the fraud capital of the damn world.
Oh, girl,
Okay,
yeah.
Sean Reyes, we looking at you. But
Sean was, yeah.
so I mean, I believe I came to the theory. I'm gonna call it a theory still till I have more proof of this. But since I was watching like all the Charlie Kirk stuff and how it happened at UVU, and that has ties to Tom Harrison, which is the author of Visions of Glory, and it's also the shrink, or actually he's a therapist, or he's retired therapist now, but he has relationships and communication. You know, he interacts with the brethren at the top of the church, every one of them. Actually, the new prophet Oaks really likes him, and I'm like, great, yay, so awesome, you know. So, but this Tom Harrison guy of Visions of Glory also would, it's alleged, and I mean, I got this from Lauren. So she shared on Mormon Stories podcast when they did whatever on Tom Harrison, Jody Hildebrandt, Chad, all, you know, Kool-Aid and the gang. You know, she shared that there were a couple sources saying that Chad and Julie Rowe were meeting with Tom Harrison in his Salt Lake City office. And then, okay, so that's all we have on that so far. So there have been a couple lawsuits filed against Tim Ballard, you know, in the past couple years when the church outed him and excommunicated him publicly, you know, distancing him from the church, basically, kind of like they tried to do with Chad, but not so public. And it was false at first, but so looking in these lawsuits, I just kind of orbit with everything. Secret combinations is determined by how much you have in the bank. There you go.
Kimberly
Well,
Porter, thank you so
Lauren
much.
did.
That was such a generous super chat. Thank you. Kimberly says, I think secret combinations is determined by how much you have in a bank, is why Lori and Chad were murdering people for insurance money.
Because they are all, at least the elite, okay, in my opinion, this is my opinion, and I've been watching this, is that they are all separating the wheat from the tares. At least the elites are. They all go by this chart that was, they use Chad as a scapegoat because he's already caught, right? So just know that. And I mean, you have Tim Ballard using the dehumanizing language recently, saying that people that are lukewarm, you know,
Yeah.
it's different terminology.
I was really disheartened to hear Duty Ron use
Yeah.
the terminology
He
that
never
he did.
supported me, so I didn't really have, now, like, Left Undone, she supported me. Nonsense. There's a lot of people that have and
Right.
do. They just kind of remain behind the scenes. Gigi was in there the other day. Kelsey was. Just there's a lot of people that watch that just kind of stay in the backgrounds, and sometimes why I don't want to comment, because I don't want to derail, and I'm kind of, I guess, intense, but it just, like, I don't know, when things start, like the other day when Nonsense was kind of playing on the idea that I had mentioned the day before, and like it was like I needed this for so long, like just to somebody to play on these things, that because if not, I just am sitting there by myself basically.
In a rabbit hole.
Well,
Yeah.
you've
Well,
needed
Nonsense is
people.
perfect to bounce that off of,
Yeah.
because she goes down those holes a lot too, and she
Oh,
understands all of
A
it.
spirit animal.
absolutely. That's when I found Kresha though, and I started watching. I don't comment a lot over there because I everywhere,
Okay.
as you know, just as we do, they follow it. Do you
Yeah.
really know what that BS? And it's like,
Right.
yeah, we can see the stuff from a mile away because we see the same playbook used over and over again. So it's easy to call out. But when you start, you can't. Once you see it, you cannot unsee it. There's just
No.
nothing about it you
If you have a
can't.
conscience.
And you've deserved. I mean, I'm sure you have felt absolutely like your brain's exploding lately because
Yeah.
this has been 6 years. People don't understand. You went to figure out and find out what happened and what was behind how your family was brutally killed. Like,
And exploited in this sense. Yeah.
yeah, and how did this become a thing? And this is where you ended up because the belief systems, and they've done such a job, a PR job, in my opinion.
Of showing themselves.
Yeah, yep, of making it more, and they got away with it. But lately, I think more and more people are starting to recognize and realize, and you've deserved that validation that these things are being seen by others.
Yeah.
It's just how do you go about it? Well, here you go. She exposed a huge piece of it.
Yeah.
Well, and there's
And I
little
mean,
things that people do too, like like you said, going live the other night, and somebody went live over top of you, right? Intentionally. We know it was intentionally, but for the average viewer, they don't know it's intentional. They don't
mm-mm.
realize that these are little ploys that creators do to each other. I brought this up the other day, and I upset a lot of people because they all assumed I was talking about their favorite creator, and I totally wasn't. I was kind of mind
Gotcha.
blown that people thought that,
Yeah.
but
I
it
can
is
mention
something that
one.
happens.
I can
Yeah.
mention one that would make the chat turn on their heads right now. I've seen it happen, and I'm just, I don't put any stock in anybody. I mean, not like that. I appreciate people's work. I appreciate their contribution, but I've learned that's okay. That's
Well,
sufficient.
what it is a lot of people will pretend to the public to respect you to get the respect of your audience, but then
Mm-hmm.
they do so many disrespectful things that your audience doesn't know they're doing because it's not
Ooh,
right
yeah.
there in the forefront. It's little
Sneaky,
things like that.
sneaky. That's
Right.
Chad Daybell. That's that kind of stuff where they wage war against you and you have no idea.
Right. And you're like, oh,
100%.
mhm.
I watched that happen to Granny over the last year. That
That
was
sucks. I'm sorry for your experience. I really
Thank
am.
you.
they
It's
did though.
a
They
horrible experience.
absolutely systematically waged war or lawfare against her. It was a mind
Wow.
of sorts, like it. But here again, they don't care. Kresha is a victim. Victims' families,
I'm
like
yeah.
this
I'm
is
like, I'm
where,
not her victim. She wants to be the victim, but I don't want to be.
yeah, you're not.
They want us to think that we're victims.
Well,
That's
Right.
they can
the
use that.
superior. And I say
Yeah.
they, and I mean the elite. I'm saying it. I don't care if it sounds conspiratorial. It is what it is,
Right.
It's
I
your
mean,
experience. Yeah.
But
that's the whole point. They do that so that we're not believed when we do follow the money, when we do see this side of the crime, when we do see the things going on and wake up to it and you're like, oh shit, oh my God, like you're being used.
Yeah.
yeah,
Well,
It
and
sucks.
to bring it back to why people do those things, that's why Lauren did a 9-hour live stream where she used the term stalker over 500 times, is
Mm,
because when and if the other party's voice was seen on a larger scale, she already put a blemish on them, right? So people are looking like, ew, like you're just crazy. You're a stalker. You're
Yeah.
weird. They're dehumanized to start because this larger creator started that it spreads.
It starts at birth in this faith for sure.
Yeah.
It's manipulation of
Follow the
every-
prophet. It's conditioning. I mean, all the things.
Right.
This competition you see, it's not just a journalist competition. This I've seen. They will cut you, but I've also seen where they can really pull a community together real fast.
Yeah.
And
Well,
they
it's
rock
propaganda is what it is. And it's been used for as long as we can all recall. I mean, that's exactly what
sharpened. Yes.
Right.
Well,
Yeah.
to go back to the Tom Harrison thing, I mean, I'm saying this because it's important to get this out. I mean, I just kind of ran across the lawsuit again, one of the lawsuits against Tim Ballard. And there was this part that was included in the evidence or whatever. And it was a transcript, and I stopped thinking and I stopped looking beyond that. First off, because I didn't know about MK Ultra. I know. I lost you. I know. Come back. Come on. It's not scary.
No, so it's just
I just got to learn about these things.
I'm
Just
right here.
learn. It's like this.
Have you
stuff
two
has
had a
been-
conversation yet?
Not like this. No. we've
No.
never-
This is totally your alley right here, nonsense.
Oh, I
I
did?
almost feel like we should be
Did you?
redirecting to you because
Oh,
this is right up
shit.
her alley.
No, Kresha knows this. That's why she
Don't
like,
tempt me with a good time.
Well, I mean, set it up. Go
I
live.
was
Do it
asking her in
now.
her live stream last night. I was like, or yesterday. I was like, if you want to, I will. I didn't know if she was
Yeah,
still there, but
Are you busy, nonsense? I'm being serious because I got
I
things to
do.
do, and I
it needs to
honestly
be taught. It
love
needs-
to hear this, but I don't really have the time to host
Oh.
it right now.
I can I can set up a live stream.
Set it up and I'll redirect over because this is right up your alley, and I'm running on a clock now. I got an appointment at 1:30.
Oh, okay.
I think a lot of people, it'll open.
Do you mind, Kresha? I'm just like passing you on to another creator. I should have asked you
Uh-uh.
first. But
Oh no,
I
I'm glad. I'm thanking you.
okay, good, thank you.
Yeah, I'm not offended at all. I'm
Good,
appreciative.
because I'm totally intrigued, but I'm not the right one, and I'm running out of time. And I'm like, I know this is right up your alley, nonsense. I know you're excited for it.
Oh yeah. This
I
is
love it.
the Ballard stuff we've been talking about for
Mhm.
years now. So
Yeah.
it all connects.
She
You
will
were
totally
covering
understand you.
Ballard, and I was like, oh, good, yeah. And then she don't take no shit either. So it's
Yeah,
just like,
yep.
damn, okay.
Yeah. do
And
you
I didn't
wanna
really know
fire
the
up your
politics
stream?
side. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to talk over you.
No. I talked over you. Do you want to fire up your stream and do it on yours?
I mean,
I'll-
you can stream to yours too.
Oh, you
Okay.
can do the stream share.
Yeah, I was gonna do it in here, and I was like, well, I didn't get to tell her, so I canceled it. So I was like,
Oh, you could
in the
have.
top right corner, you can stream this to your audience at the same time.
Yeah, nonsense. You set it up, and then she can come on and stream it to her audience too, and I
Yeah.
can redirect it to you.
Perfect.
It'll work out perfect. A dual stream. I love dual streams.
Okay.
Mhm.
That's the way of YouTube trying to get creators to work together. It
That's
stops
it.
a lot of it's really a good
Yeah.
way.
Harboring content, or whatever. It's
Yep.
interesting because it becomes that person's content, just like Dateline. I
Yes.
actually got email or whatever. I got copyrighted by Netflix for
Did
using
you?
my video that originated from my iPhone of my nephew and my dad.
What?
I'm like on the bus, the bus video, and they didn't even blur out my bonus son's face, like if anybody wants to call attention to anything, there's a lot of times they
Wow.
did blur out my daughter's face, on these news. Anyways, it's
So wait, so
there's a whole
Netflix took
underbelly of this stuff, y'all, that needs to be talked about too.
So Netflix took a video that you filmed,
Never
And
asked
then
permission, right?
never asked
I'm not on
permission,
it.
didn't advertise you, nothing.
No.
And then turn around and actually copyright struck you
Yeah.
on your video. Did you
Yeah, I
do
thought it.
anything with
Oh, I mean, I probably wrote stuff that I shouldn't have, but
Oh, I don't
was
blame you. I would have
my
too.
murdered family. Da, 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 da." It's so weird. It's just such a weird, bizarre element to this that, again, I haven't found anybody really talking about it. Although I've seen where like other families have lashed out or,
Uh-huh.
do what they do. and it also made me look at the Summer Wells situation. You know how they were just. You should use social media as a tool,
Yeah.
and I mean, really for the mission at hand, and that's to find the child or the children or the missing person. It's not to air out your damn dirty laundry, you know. Or but
Right.
then they expose themselves. I get it, but it's just it
Just
just
get through
becomes
that hurdle of it.
it becomes a circus, and
Now,
it
did you win the
becomes
copyright with Netflix? Did you win that?
yeah.
Oh, because I mean, I'm like literally angry for you. The audacity of these bigger networks to do that.
Yeah. Thank you, Mind the
Wow.
Gap. I appreciate that. And I've had that feeling that this, like Awen, contacting me via email. And I was just like, oh my God, will you help me? Because I can't remember everything. I shoved it down and I tried to forget, like, okay.
I'm glad that she came back out to
Me
support
too.
your
What a
family on
relief.
it.
And I hope it validates her too. I mean, she deserves to be validated and to speak her piece or pieces or whatever. I'm here for it. I'm here for
Absolutely.
it.
Well, and she's got a lot to talk about. I mean, she did 2 videos now.
Yep.
Mm.
And she said in her first one that, I don't know, 4 or 5, she said, but I mean, people, and you can see it in the numbers, the views, that, and the comments.
They're finally listening.
They are so glad she's back, and she's that missing piece that I wasn't sure quite what happened, but I knew something was happening, just didn't know the deets, and to know that Lauren jeopardized, and I mean, even still by talking about it, I'm a little nervous.
I get it.
There's an
one thing I learned is okay, never mind. I was going down a different avenue. Sorry.
Well, I'm saying that because, like, my mom is on the hit list still. I ain't seen him cross anything out. Just throwing that out there. And I mean, if Lori gets off on appeal because Lauren ran with some hearsay that the court, that whole thing, then is Lauren going to be scared? Is Lauren going to fear for her life?
Did you
see accountable? I doubt it.
Did you see Lori the other day at the
yeah.
And
I actually went live with that Friday night, and that's when John and Lauren scheduled over me a premiere.
Oh wow. Yeah.
Again, I mean, no, I'm used to that. I'm used to that.
That premiere was so
that's why
bizarre.
I used to buy super chats. I would buy super chats intentionally just to make her pin it and say my name and acknowledge it.
And acknowledge you. How sad is that? This woman who's made so much money off your pain's tragedy, you have to super chat to get acknowledgement from. Unreal.
It was really gross too, because like whenever I appeared on Web Sleuths with my friend Jen Elmom, and I talked about this second anointing, and then Lori and Lauren appeared right after us. And after that, Hellas messaged me through Facebook asking me, she was like, oh, what you talked about tonight just sounded so interesting. Sounds like something I'd like to, research or put in my book, and I was just like, ew.
Oh,
it was so cringe. Cringe. I mean, I was just like, that's nasty. Like, I know, okay, well, that's great. We'll
like pretend to actually care about me. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, that's her attempt of being like, hey, I would like to put your research in my book. That's how I took it.
Yeah, like let me just make you another chapter in my book.
Yeah,
Unreal.
I'm not a chapter, and you can shove your book up your ass.
Wow.
So that's why I mentioned jokingly yesterday, like, I wonder if anybody's going to write a book about Lauren and this shit show she's created for herself. I wonder if I could write a book about
I bet you
Lauren. Could you imagine? She'd probably freaking skits out.
You know what,
like,
though?
I write my own narrative.
Yeah, exactly. I'm going to control the narrative. But you know what, though? I bet you people would be interested in a book from you. I do.
I've had so much crap on my plate.
Yeah.
That I haven't been able to. But I mean, I never was like, oh, yeah, I'm going to set out and write a book. That's never, this wasn't a part of my plans. None of this, But then all the stuff that I've been, finding and digging, and people need to know. People need to know.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what, my girl Becky here, Nonsense, is the right voice to help you because she understands it. She's deep dived it. She gets it. And honestly, you two are a match made in heaven for this conversation.
Or hell.
Right?
outer darkness.
That is the truth.
Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna go ahead. Are you ready, Nonsense? Send you ladies over.
I got it set up. I'll just go live now. Sorry about
Perfect.
that. I was like,
No, that I should have asked you first. I'm sorry.
No,
Everybody's so into the conversation, and I am so into the conversation, but I can't
No,
hold
I
down the conversation because I gotta go.
I've
I
been
hate
telling
this.
you would. This isn't as far away from things that we talk about. There's so many factors and similarities and stuff.
Oh,
And
absolutely. It's frightening
Yeah.
how many similarities there
Yeah.
are.
It's getting closer and closer every day. It's not a me
Mhm.
problem. It's a we problem. Like
Yes,
we all need to
that
be
right
aware
there.
of it.
That right there. It is not a me problem, it's a we problem. What a perfect sentence,
And
because it is
how
the
Lori
truth.
and Chad might have, I believe that they're part of the NWO programming that's going on. So there you go.
Mm.
That's
Mhm.
a little
Here we
trailer.
go.
Okay.
Well,
That's
I'm
what-
excited. It was
Okay.
such a pleasure, Kresha, to meet you. And I do
You
apologize. The
too.
other day, I just could not get your name correct. The chat was correcting me, so I do
Oh,
apologize for
that's
that.
weird hearing my name. And I'm like, like it's,
I know.
I'm
I'm like,
kind of
is it
flinch a little
Kresha?
bit.
Kresha? How do I say this?
Hey,
And then
blame my mom. My mom. Okay?
and then A, where did she get the name from? Do you know?
My dad.
Oh, okay.
No, I mean, for real. He was like, he wanted to name me Kresha. And if I was going to be a boy, it was going to be Brandon. So I said that in front of Brandon Boudreaux whenever I was there for the sentencing, and he was like, "Oh, she got me now. I'm here now." And I was
But
like,
did it have any
"Okay."
like deeper meaning to it? Like, where did he hear the name? It's not a name I've ever heard.
I have a. Well, I don't know. He told me he just pulled it out the sky or whatever. I was like, okay,
There you
whatever.
go. I came from a Murder She Wrote. My
There
mom
you
liked
go.
that show, and that's where my name came
Oh
from.
yeah, Jessica. Okay, I get it.
Yeah.
I know what you're talking about.
Well, it was
That's
such a
cool.
pleasure to meet you, and I look
You
forward
too.
to getting to know you better. And Awen, thank you so much
Thank you
for
for
coming
having
on as
her on
well.
too.
You
That-
guys have the support
Appreciate
of
that.
many, and I'm so thankful that you found your voice. And I loved when she said, realizing that Lauren wasn't a monster, she was a clown. That is so amazing, and I'm here for it all. I'm here for all of you to
I'm
get
so
due
glad.
justice,
That's
for
a
Lauren
relief.
to be exposed, for
Yeah.
victims to get better voices out here, and I am leaving you in great hands. So I
Thank
will see you guys
you.
over there.
Girl,
Bye
so
soon.
glad to hear this. Yay, thank you.
I'm excited
Bye,
too.
bye.
Bye, ladies.
Kresha, I'll
Thank
drop
you.
you a link as soon as I get over there. I'll drop you a
Okay.
link. You
Sounds
can
great, girl.
grab it and share.
All right.
Okay. Bye.
Bye,
Bye.
ladies. And everybody in the chat, thank you for joining me today. I'm sorry to have to rush end the conversation. It is not my wheelhouse. Okay. This is more up Nonsense's wheelhouse for content and conversation. I'm not as well versed in it to host it. And I hope you all understand. I'm not rudely pushing you all away. You don't have to go home, but you can't stay at Granny's house. If you haven't, please consider hitting the thumbs up. Thank you for joining us today. Thank you for patiently listening to these women find their voices after years of feeling silenced by bullies. And that's exactly what it is. It takes a village to expose these type of things. Anyway, I'm going to direct you all over there. If you'd like to stay for the conversation, great. If not, I understand. And I do hope to see you back here next time. Please hit the thumbs up on the way out, and y'all stay safe out here.